Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order and Ain't No Place for a Hero are two campaigns currently co-joined, set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 127 of Twilight of the Old Order, and episode 104 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The two parties have reunited some days back and now find themselves thrust into the heart of a perilous mission on a long-forgotten, miserable, festering island. We pick up the story as our heroes have just agreed to a tentative accord with another armed group who appear to be seeking to fight the same foes. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our Twin Stories. We have two campaigns, two stories which are co-joined, and these are the characters up on screen that will be in play from both of those campaigns tonight. The first campaign is called Twilight of the Old Order, and the second campaign is Ain't No Place for a Hero. These two games have been running for quite some time. The characters and the major story arcs have been moving in and out of each other, so common themes across both games. And at the moment, these two groups of characters have come together for a particular cause, a joint cause. In a second or so, I'm going to hand over to the players that are playing these characters this evening to introduce the characters, and then also, a little bit later on, answer a character development question. Before I do, my regular, habitual thanks to our supporters, our viewers, and our listeners, the people that send us comments, provide suggestions, advice, and just general encouragement with our story. This is our hobby. We do this for fun, and we're thrilled to be able to bring our stories, to you for your enjoyment. If our request to you, if you've stumbled across this video for the first time, or perhaps you've watched one or two of these, just kind of get a bit of a feel of how we roll. If you're enjoying the tales that we're telling, if you're enjoying our players, their wit, their dynamism, their eloquence, their tactics, their storytelling, whatever it is, we'd really encourage you to give us, firstly, a like, or even better, a subscribe down below. It really does help the channel grow and help people like you, new people like you, find our stories online. Thanks very much. Alright, with no further ado, we are going to hand over to the players to introduce each one of the characters up on screen. And as per usual, it's Pete that'll take us away. Pete, go for it.
Hi, I'm Pete, and in this episode I'll be playing Leif. Leif is a half-elf warrior mage, which means he uses weapons as well as magic. He's a friendly fellow, very empathetic, and a really kind member of the party.
Kia ora, I'm Mason, and for this episode I'm playing Demos. He's a very attractive, very hunky, very buff mixed man. Really great with his spear and shield, and he can whip out some swords if he needs to. He's not the most intelligent person, but he makes up for it with a lot of kindness, a lot of gentleness, except for when he's fighting. And he's been with the party for a little while, has thoroughly enjoyed his time with them, is very much looking forward to saving the world. And on the side, he is looking and hoping to find his long lost sister that was kidnapped a long, long time ago.
Hi, I'm Graham. I play Nyathonal Sherakir. She is a Magent, which is a mix of stealthy skills, fighting skills, and magic skills, mentalism, magic of the mind. She is a complex character, something of a religious fundamentalist who believes in assassination as a sacred endeavour. She keeps that well hidden, however. She is, however, a dab hand with a short sword and uses her magic and sneaky ability to good use in sneaking up on her adversaries.
Hi, my name's Giles, and for this episode I'm playing Tarquin. So Tarquin is a young, ridiculously good-looking half-elf. During his early life and adolescence, he's been well-trained in the gentle arts of thievery, charming others using his remarkably good looks, and of course, violence. He is in his own way a religious man, and he's out looking for some understanding as to what's happened to his homelands.
Kia ora, I'm Alex, and for this episode I'm playing Keros. Keros is a young North woman. She's a weather mage, a pretty powerful weather mage with some very cool spells. She's quite sweet and kind, a bit emotionally labile, but wears a heart on her sleeve and a strong moral compass. She also has a companion, a cat called Victory, who's a very important member of the party, and Victory was rescued, oh there's Victory, a wee while ago from impending doom.
Hello, I'm Graham. I play Etienne Gilderflower. He is a genitrist, which is a type of paladin or holy warrior. He follows the teachings of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and he believes that her will leads him on, and he makes decisions based on the dreams he receives or thinks he receives from his goddess. He has joined the party on the mission to, as he understands it, to save the old order, the world as they know it. He is a very charming, very good-looking man, a very eccentric man. Speaks in riddles and rhymes most of the time, but he believes on a higher purpose. He's a very dab hand with a sword, usually found in full plate.
Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing Mythan in this episode. Mythan is a ranger. She's a high man. She's pretty good at outdoor skills, and she's a pretty good archer. She's not a people person. She doesn't really care about people's feelings, although she's beginning to in this party.
Hi, I'm Aiden and I'm playing Grey. Grey is a very handsome half-elf who doesn't really believe in wearing shirts. He's constantly just displaying his body all the time, which, you know, he's got it, so he's flaunting it. He's got a bit of a tragic backstory. Pretty much everyone he's ever really cared about has been murdered brutally, but despite that, he's still a lovely guy. He's very caring, cares a lot about his teammates and also animals, loves animals, as he is a beastmaster, so he has the power to kind of, I don't know, not control, well, he can control animals, but he can also kind of interact with them and understand them and get them to help him do what he needs to do. And when he's not using his magic, he is a bit of a dab hand with an axe. He is very good at chopping things, chopping enemies, and also good with a little bit of stabby and a crossbow as well. He has a bird called Wingy that is his best friend that needs to have a bit more of a story, I guess. She'll come into it a bit more like down the road, I think. Yeah, that's great.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I play Severin Kaidegard, who is a human swordsman. A dab hand at the sword, has spent his whole life training in swordsmanship. He is a very charming fellow and fancies himself as a bit of a leader.
Hi, I'm Stara. I play Jada. She's a 6'7" Arab-looking woman. She fights with a quarterstaff, but not often because she's a healer. She grew up in a monastery where they adopted her, and she has just been taught how to heal, do martial arts. That's all she's done her entire life.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I'm playing Tanya Anastasia, who is an elven hunter. Dab hand with a bow. She has some outdoor skills, some very adept sneaky skills, and is an interesting personality, a little bit spiky, a little bit difficult to know, but inside, a good egg.
Kia ora everyone, my name's Anthony, and for this episode I'm playing Ascallion, or Ascal for short. He's a tall half-elf warrior mage who comes from the port city of Shabibi, and accordingly his favourite weapon is his ornate cutlass. As a warrior mage, Ascal combines his offensive and defensive spells along with his prowess with his cutlass and in unarmed combat.
Kia ora, my name's Pete, and I'll be playing Nicholas in this episode. Nicholas is a common man and a mentat by profession. That means he is a spell user, and he uses spells from the mentalism realm. Nicholas is a quiet and sort of unassuming sort of fellow. He doesn't like to draw attention to himself.
There we go. Aren't they fantastic? So those are the players and indeed the characters you can see up on screen that you've just heard from in terms of who they're playing and a bit about their characters tonight. So we play on a Wednesday night, as it is tonight, and usually earlier in the week on a Monday, as I've done this week, I send out a bunch of character development questions. These are designed to be thought-provoking and to make the players think a bit about the characters they're playing and just basically allow them as players to get to know the characters a bit better, and also just generally for the party and indeed myself to get to know them a bit better. And tonight, starting us off with the questions, is Anthony. Anthony, take it away, please.
Right, for Ascal's question, it was, how does your character feel about the influence of deities or divine beings on mortal affairs, and do they actively seek or reject divine guidance? So, Ascal hasn't really seen any divine influence or that, etc., but he would probably sort of liken his recent engagement or activities in rescuing Jada as something, a demon or whatever, so you could probably consider them not necessarily deities or divine beings, but some sort of unnatural sort of thing. But so he's not religious as such. He's neither here nor there, so he doesn't really seek their support as such. So yeah, just a bit ambivalent to it all. But yeah, there's clearly some sort of weird stuff happening out there as well that is a little bit supernatural too. So yeah, there.
Excellent.
That's
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll pass across to Stara.
I'll answer the same question for Jada. So, how does her character feel about the influence of deities or divine beings? She's very, on mortal affairs, she's very religious and judgy, and thinks everyone should be following her religion. So she not only believes, prays to her gods and believes that they can make things happen for her, but she's also very scared of what happens if she doesn't. And an example was, of course, Ostrod the demon. She sees that as absolute proof that these beings exist. And actually anything supernatural she thinks is demons. And yeah, so she's always praying and seeking guidance and believes it works.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you.
Pass on to who's next on the list? Pete.
Thank you. I will be answering that same question, I think. How does Leif feel about the influence of deities and divine beings on mortal affairs, and how do they actually seek or reject divine guidance? Well, obviously those first two characters aren't in the hero party. We've had direct intervention by divine beings in the hero party. We were travelling on a road somewhere, and these sort of portals opened up creatures, both demonic and divine, or angelic, jumped through and started attacking us and killing us. And then more portals opened up, and other demonic and divine and angelic creatures jumped through, bit the other ones off, and healed us. Leif's opinion is they should leave us alone, really. Rather they left us alone, because that was bloody terrifying, because they were helpless against these creatures, just completely. And it feels rather, well, perhaps like it is, like you're just being moved around. What is free will if there's this sort of stuff going on a bit? He'd rather the divine beings, and I suppose now he has to accept there is perhaps divine beings. He wasn't particularly a believer before, but he's not going to believe in these divine beings because they haven't had any proof to him that they're worthy of his faith, basically. He'd rather they just butt out of our affairs, and perhaps that's tempered somewhat with understanding a bit more about why our group was attacked when we received that information. But yeah, that's Leif's answer to that question. For Mythan, if your character were to encounter a situation where societal norms conflicted with their personal sense of justice, how would they navigate the tension? Depending on the situation, but in terms of her personal sense of justice, that pretty much revolves around, is she safe, is she not? If someone needs to be removed because they are a threat to her, that's justice, so depending on the situation, she might well ignore societal norms completely. She might have to abide by them, if she's in the city. It would be dumb to go and murder someone out in the open. But she wouldn't always. She doesn't care for societal norms because they're societal norms.
Got it.
And for Nicholas, if your character were to encounter a religious institution engaged in morally questionable practices, imagine that. How would they react? And how would they take action? Nicholas wouldn't find it surprising if a religious institution was engaged in morally questionable practices. I think that, not to cover your ears, Jada, but he doesn't hold a lot of stock in religions particularly, and doesn't, the people in religions aren't necessarily that pure. But he would, if the power was against him, he would of course react the way the church would want him to react. So he'd turn a blind eye or whatever. But or if there was a reaction against them, perhaps he'd go along with that. He wouldn't really care. He doesn't care about churches. He would just do what keeps him safest and what suits him best. He certainly wouldn't go and dob them in just to dob them in.
Cool.
And that's Nicholas. So I think the last person to hear from, apart from Chris, is Graham, please.
Yes. I shall start with Severin from the Twilight Party. How does your character feel about the influence of deities or divine beings on mortal affairs? And do they actively seek or reject divine guidance? Well, a few things going on here. Severin was brought up sort of in the Roldenic tradition, but was not really that interested, but nonetheless took some of the basic tenements of that faith, in basic kind of moral guidance, but certainly not down to doctrinal or any detail. But having actually seen the Roldenic Church at work, notably when we saw the two rabbit beaters, or whatever they were called, and bunny boilers, or I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, he just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And the more he sees the church, the more he sees the corruption and the way they set up these institutions and bend the rule to suit them, the less he wants to do with it. So I would say now he has no faith. I would say. However, he also has heard all these wonderful stories from the hero party, which he's not quite sure about, but he sees no reason to disbelieve them. And also finds himself supposedly representing these said deities, and fighting supposedly on their side to maintain their sort of structure and so he's a bit conflicted, really. And if indeed these deities do have some influence, well, how about exerting it in their favour? Thanks very much, since they're going to all this trouble. I mean, they've been through hell and high water. I haven't seen any deity or any influence of a deity actually doing them a favour, so he's inclined just to ignore them and plough on, really.
What have the Romans ever done for us? Sorry.
Well, he's never seen a deity, doesn't really want to, and he doesn't really seek origin. I mean, if there's some guidance going, he'll take it, but frankly,
Yep.
I don't know what the gods are up to, but they're clearly busy. Meanwhile, Etienne and Yathanel, quite similar responses to the question, describe a moment when your character had to confront a choice between following a divine command and pursuing that understanding of right and wrong. For both of these characters, pretty much those are the same thing. Their understanding of right and wrong is very much based around what their deity wants them to do, really. And they believe they're guided by their deity. Probably Etienne thinks about this about 18 times more than the Athanor, but he really believes he's just a puppet, and he follows the maiden's will. So in terms of a moment that he had to, there's no choice. He does as he thinks his goddess tells him, which is massively convenient. But that's just the way it is. So when he joined the party because he thought his deity, he dreamt it, and he thought that was what she wanted him to do. And if there's he held his sword against some people he doesn't, according to his own code, and others he strikes, and he believes that he's just following the will. And the Athanor, to a certain degree, although probably not everyday decisions, but in terms of moment, there isn't really any conflict there. Nonetheless, if she feels compelled to go and murder someone and stick a sword through the back, it's because her goddess demanded it. Then that's that, right? So there's no conflict there. For tenure, if your party discovered character discovered a party member committed a crime but believed it was justified, how would they respond to the moral ambiguity? Tenure's pretty flexible. She's happy to bond morals within reason, so they're on this really important task, and things are going to get in their way, and some of them, if laws have to be broken, well, so be it. She doesn't want to start arbitrarily killing the innocent or anything as serious as that, or necessarily acting in a totally despicable way, but sure, laws, they're all there to be bent, and certainly this party have bent them, so that's not a problem.
Excellent.
And that's that.
Thank you very much indeed. So, gentle viewer and gentle listener, we are a few players down tonight. Mason, who usually plays the stalwart, stouty Demos, the spearman, is not able to join us this evening. You can see a bit more of Demos up there, basically strong, silent type with a large pointy spear. But a good man at heart. Tarquin, usually played by Giles, who again is not able to join us this evening. Tarquin is the most recent addition to the hero party, well, to the entire group, admittedly, but he doesn't know this yet, but he will end up joining the hero party. And you can see a bit of information there about Tarquin. He's quite short, he's very slender, and ludicrously good looking. And as it says there, a half elf. And then the last character is Grey Roughwind. Aidan is again not able to join us tonight. Stara, thank you very much indeed. You're likely going to be filling in for Grey. But yes, just a little bit about Grey there. Again, a very good looking half elf. Bare-chested, typically hand axe at the ready and nipples out. There we go. That's the team. Well introduced one and all, and great answering of the questions. Pete, as per is now usual and as is a tradition, can we please hand over to you to provide a very quick update of what happened last time, both for our viewers' benefit and also for Stara's benefit at the very end of the session. Stara left, departed just before the session finished, but also Anthony was not present last session. Pete, if you could take us through, that'd be great, and I'll switch over to the map for you to talk to as required.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, the last session started with us, all of us clustered on the beach in about the same area, just after the acid ball, which had killed Keros. Very sort of unfortunate. We sort of took stock for a couple of rounds. We changed places. We started to retreat, assessed the damage to Keros, and realised that she was indeed dead, but sort of, I think, communicated a plan of trying to revive her at some later stage. There was a lot of healing, a few people were taking hits per round, so they washed themselves in the water. The Ethanol was pushing a longboat in to where the group was sort of sheltering. But most importantly, the session, the time before, Mithan had erected a wood wall. Demos was hearing some sort of voices and maybe sounds of metal against metal from beyond the wood wall, which was between us and the cave. But the most important thing was that there was another party approaching up the beach, or up the shore. They called out to us, and we entered into dialogue, particularly Severin. And after us sort of having to prove that we had an item to try and say who we were, we did admit to saying that we're here to be against the Tikos, and it seems that party was too. So thank goodness, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, sort of. Severin advanced up the beach by himself to negotiate with the head person from that party, and after a while came back to say that they were willing to allow us past, that their quarrel wasn't with us, because I think Severin convinced them enough that we were on the same. We weren't part of Tikos, so they weren't the enemy. We weren't the enemy they were coming here to kill. Doesn't mean they're not going to try and kill us later. Of course, at some point in the discussion, Severin pointed out he was an honourable and a sort of man of his word, and that this person responded, well, he's a bloodthirsty cutthroat. So that's their measure. Yes. The arrangement Severin came up with was that we would be able to swap places. So they were down the left side of the left end of the shore, and we were down the right end, closer to the cave. They wanted to get closer to the cave because they felt there was a time constraint for them attacking the Tikos people in the cave. So we did. We sort of warily sidled past each other. They insisted we not bring the longboat, which was our plan for escape from here, because we were so badly wounded. We sidled past their group. I believe you can see them on screen now. And we were of the understanding that they were due to assault the cave. We did look above and saw where there were at least 4 archers sitting on the cliffs above us, so it could have been difficult for us to escape, but it does mean there's even more people in their party. We got to the end of the beach where the crisscross track came down from the top of the cliff, and Mithan did some healing of hits for people who needed it. And Jada, we stowed Keros' body with Jada, who was still invisible, and Nicholas was going to stay there because they were certainly out of the fight, and Jada was needing to sleep so she could hopefully continue to heal Keros. And I believe we were about to, I don't know if we had actually asked the other people, this new party, if we can help them with their attack. I'm not sure if we've done that or not. But during this time, a ship had come around the corner, around the coast, to still further around to the left of where we ended up, and had made its way across and sort of had moored outside of the bay by a mile, a few hundreds of metres, I'm not sure. But there was also a ship there. I think that was all I had in my notes. Please help me with if I've missed stuff.
Excellent, Pete. Well done. Anything else from anybody else? Couple of last points from the GM. So yes, indeed, this ship is probably about half a mile out, and it appears to have weighed anchor. It's not getting any closer, and it's stopped. So it's come pretty much parallel to the cave. But it's still quite some distance away. The main thing you can see on it is the lights on board the ship. There are some Not many, but there are a few lanterns lit. It's one thing to note. Second thing to note, this boat is the boat that you've left here, and it has drifted. It's as mentioned a few times, the current and the waves aren't especially intense here. There's some large chunks of rock further out in the bay, which mean the water here is relatively calm. And also, even though it's absolutely pouring with rain, there's not much of a storm. In fact, there's virtually no wind. So that's floating there. What else? Oh, one last thing for Tarquin. You had jumped into the water, and you had swum underwater with your bow in your hand and with your quiver of arrows at your side. I've been trying to think what's appropriate to see. Could you, could someone brave, roll a 1d20, and let's see how many of Tarquin's arrows came out of his quiver when he was underwater. That didn't apply to Neathral, who was also underwater, because she doesn't have a quiver from memory. Do we have a brave person to roll on Tarquin's behalf?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, nice one. Thank you.
1d20. 12.
Afraid, Tarquin. Yeah, 12 arrows. You didn't make mention of hanging on to your arrows. You were certainly hanging on to your bow. 12 arrows are now gone. You have 6 arrows left. So just as a little tactical thing for Tarquin. There we go. I think that's perfectly described. Probably with one last thing, just to frame things up, Pete. This other group of people had expressed their wishes. Shall we go with that? According to Severin, that they didn't want you to leave. They still don't trust you. They don't know who you are, and the intention is that you would head down your end of the beach, deal to your injured and your wounded. And in fact, Mithun did quite a bit of healing while Severin was negotiating with this person. And then, in terms of the assault on the cave, possibly was their response. They were going to investigate themselves, and then make a call from there. That was pretty much it. But their strong request was that you stay down one end of the beach, or you stay down that end of the beach. Was pretty much it. Any last questions? Any last comments? Anything that's not clear? Anything that we need to clean up? Going once, twice.
I thought it might be useful for the party to be, at the moment they seem to be hidden away, and that's possibly where we're going to leave Jada and so forth, but it might be, given they were going to wave to us if they needed assistance, it might be better those that are going to do that at the other side of the rock.
Okay, maybe, so at this stage, basically we left it just you arriving at this point, so you can make arrangements from there, would be my suggestion. So we'll make arrangements once we start the game. So duly noted, Graham, but let's pick it up actually at that point. Let's pick it up in game. As yet, I think we got to, Jada was looking for a place to snuggle down. She might, maybe we did put her in there. I think we did. Yes, we did. She did find somewhere kind of out of the way to get out of the way, but maybe Severin brings that up in game, Graham, if that's all right. Anything else? Go on. We're not going to start in rounds. No immediate threat that you're aware of. Okay, let's start the game. So that's where we're going to... It's our thunder. That's where we're going to pick up the action, pick up the story. Jada, Nicholas, Picture the Cat, and Keros are there, and the rest of the party was about to head away, but perhaps about to do something else. I was going to go round character by character, but perhaps some discussion between you all might be appropriate. You're no longer in rounds, so non-time critical.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess just a few general things. As just mentioned, maybe let's keep an eye on down the beach, but whether we want to start attuning some items that we might be able to transfer, if we're going to end up in battle, it might be quite useful to do so. And if so, who is best positioned to do the attuning? Who's actually liable to go in that way? Given that both Jada and Nicholas and Karios, none of them are likely to do that, and so who's the next best at attuning? Just a question of the party, really.
18 for Mathan, 51 for Leif.
What about the rest of 51's looking good for Leith then? I don't
Sorry,
think.
what was the thing we're looking for?
Apart from what's Gray's attunement?
It is plus 27.
Stara, just finding you a little bit hard to hear. Are you able to increase the volume or speak up?
Yep, I can turn it up.
Thank you.
Is that better? Yep.
A bit better. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
And what about Askell?
Hello, Anthony.
Hang on, he's just finding it. He doesn't have it at all.
Right. So, Leif. How would you feel, Leif, about taking the sort of maybe trying the amulet of sleep?
Amulet of sleep. Who's that? Who's the
Karios has got it round her neck. It just would be another sleep spell that could be cast.
Absolutely happy to attune that. Yep.
Well, there's obviously
how many items do we want to attune? How long does it take to attune as well?
Well, quite. I don't know. I don't know that.
I can answer that question. So, attunements, it can take as long or as short if you wish. You do get a negative 20 if you spend less than an hour attuning. So you could attempt to attune in a round, but you get a negative 20 for that. If you spend 1 to 4 hours, you get plus 0. More than 4 hours, plus 5. The other mods for this is minus the level of the spell, minus 30 if the realm of the spell is different from the caster, negative 10 if the character doesn't know what the spell or ability is. All of you guys know what the spells and abilities of these items are. Plus 20 if you know what the spell and ability is, and plus 30 if you can cast the spell intrinsically.
Cool. Yeah. So, how many items to I think? What items in what order?
That was the obvious one, right? But there's also a if anybody hasn't got one, there's a spell. There's obviously a multiplier there, ×3 PowerPoint multiplier.
That's not realm specific, is it?
Yes, it is. It's essence. If it's Keros's, yeah.
Cool. I'll just add that detail to the sheet.
It also gives a DB of 15 or.
Yeah, plus 15 to DB and plus 15 to CH to channeling resistance.
That's correct. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, if the only obvious one is the sleep, then yeah, happy to do an attunement on that.
Go for it.
Yep. That's 35. Leif can cast sleep, but it's not necessarily sleep from Spirit Mastery. But
right.
makes a difference.
And this is Master, of course, because you don't know
Oh, cool.
Your result.
Good.
Okay. So you get negative 20. Sorry, you get negative 20 because you're trying to do it now without
Yes.
the time. However, you get plus 20 because you do know what the ability is. What is your... What, please, is your achievement? 56, I think?
51.
Cool. Alright. Yeah.
Does he get the sleep adjustment that he knows the spell?
Yep, yeah, no, I've just said that. Yep.
No,
No,
okay.
he doesn't. No, you can't cast that spell in particular. Yeah, sorry, Leif. This is a tricky item. You think it's just a bit beyond you. You think you need quite a bit more just general life experience and understanding the world a bit before you could try to do this again. No luck, I'm afraid.
Another level. Yeah, no worries. Worth a go. Cool. Anything else? Any other items?
Oh, can Jada attune something before she goes to sleep, or is that no way?
Sure. I mean,
Because she's quite high in at 62.
Yep. So,
But is this going to make Carius die if I don't sleep instantly?
well, the way that I had in my head was you were kind of prepping. Jada was making herself comfortable where you can see her on screen, kind of hidden away, invisible. You and Nicholas are out of the rain, kind of a bit of an overhang. It's pretty miserable. This is not a great place to try to go to sleep, but hey, it's the best you've got. It's not dry. It's definitely not dry. But, I think we were just pausing it at that second, so I wouldn't say that Jada has started to go to sleep yet. So your call if you want to attune.
Shall I do it, guys?
I think
I'll give
why not?
You could.
I think the idea was that it was so that it was going to be useful in an upcoming battle, which I think Jada will sleep through. But she may as well, I reckon. Give it a go.
In a battle. Oh. Don't we need to attune that signal rod soon? Or maybe not.
Good point.
Maybe do that.
Yeah,
Okay, shall I roll? Shall I roll?
So, clarity for the GM, please. What are you rolling for? What are you rolling for, please?
Oh. Am I attuning something?
I don't know.
You
I
said
just
the
need
signal-
you
the
to
signal-
tell me what you're doing.
Which thing am I attuning?
Okay. Nyathadol suggests that maybe the amulet of sleep that Carios wears might become useful for the party until we can revive her.
Okay. And one of us has to do it. Leif tried, so am I the only one left, eh? And after I've done that, do I try and do the signal rod or just one?
That would be handy.
Okay, so we'll do the amulet of sleep first.
Cool. So the same modifications as Leif. You're aware of what it does. You're trying to do it in a hurry, and that knowing what it is cancels out the doing it in a hurry. So +0 to this roll. It's a master roll.
Okay. All right. Oh. Here we go. Oh, 98. Woohoo!
Yeah. Shame it's masked.
Yeah. Still feels good.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Still feels good. You bet. What's her achievement, please?
62.
62. Cool. So just as a reminder for you, Stara, as we talked about on the weekend, basically every single time you roll the dice, and in this case it's a maneuver, and I don't say what difficulty it is, assume it's a medium maneuver, assuming you're successful. And in this case, you have an idea of how to use it, so you're a bit rushed and you're miserable and you're feeling wet and you're not feeling cold, but you know what it is. However, you're just not quite there. you think if you give it a bit longer, probably about 7 or so days, you would feel that just with a bit more practice on this item, you could probably do it. No joy, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay, should we try for the signal rod? Signal rod 47.
47, cool. Again, must. Could you roll again, please?
No. 91.
91.
Oh.
Oh, that's exciting.
For who?
Could you roll again, please?
What? Oh no, this is never good. 30.
Okay. 3. Okay, and what's your bonus, please, Jada?
For attunement?
Yes, please.
62.
Jada, you
Yes.
try to get your head around this, and it just all goes horribly, horribly wrong.
No.
It's and you've got absolutely no idea how to use this, and you will never be able to use this. It's
Massive fail.
It's definitely it definitely did not go the way you wanted. However, or and rather than however, let me just check. Just going to swap this. Just want to read the description. Sake. No, it must be in the other one. Just coming, guys.
Guys, just settle it. Just settle into this island. We're never leaving.
So all of a sudden, so you're kind of looking at it, Jada, and if you see the GM on screen, you're kind of playing with this tube. Do I have something in the study to demonstrate? No, I don't. So this is the tube, and you're kind of playing with it, and then you're kind of fiddling with it. And you go, how does this work? And you ignite it. And all of a sudden, there is this brilliant beam of supercharged, intense light, bright red in colour, springs from the end of this rod. Just to remind everybody, here, and you can see that kind of glowing bit at the end of the rod. And Jada, it just blinds you. Like there's this just massive shock of red straight into your face. Your breath's taken away a little bit, and in a panic, you let out a scream. The rod drops down to your hands, and the light goes out. The light itself goes kind of into the cliff, and then as soon as you drop it, the light goes out. You hate this thing, Jada, and you don't think you'll ever be able to get your head around how this thing works.
I'm going to go to sleep then.
Night!
Don't tell the others.
You kind of think they noticed.
God, But the signal rod, wasn't it just supposed to send out a red light? So, it's done, isn't it?
Well, the signal went through Jadar's head and kind of into
My eyeball.
into the rock wall behind. It lasted
Okay.
for a split second before she yelped "Eek!" and dropped it.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad luck.
Bad luck twice.
At least
Oh.
it wasn't a lightning bolt rod.
Should have gone to bed. Yeah, that's true.
Tuning stuff can be dangerous. So that was a 3 starer, followed by a 99, followed by a 33. Damn.
Okay, well, it's worth a shot.
Anybody else doing anything?
I think maybe we just leave it there and just move on, shall we? Unless anybody wants to try. Well, does Gray have a PowerPoint multiplier?
That's a good question. Let me look on this sheet.
I mean, I'm hesitant to suggest anyone.
He
Bad
wears
luck.
some sort of gold ring with a blue stone, but I don't know what it does. Can't see anything.
Haskell has got his one, but
Oh, the earrings.
the earrings.
Very nice.
So just as a reminder, with the house rules in this game, once someone has figured out how to use an item, if they roll a success, they can teach someone at plus 75 how to use the item. If they get an absolute success, it's plus 95. So having someone who could figure out an item, it's much easier if they then teach someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, Grey does have a PowerPoint multiplier, just times 1. And a spell
one.
adder times 1. Yeah, just times 1.
Oh, having a spell adder is very good.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
1.
Well, that means he's got
So
a few spells up his sleeve.
Well, that means he can cast one spell that he would normally be able to cast without overcasting.
Cool. Great. That's handy that I'm playing him.
And
Make it count. Oh, that.
just to
Yeah.
Sorry, Graham.
Go on. I'm just thinking who else.
Can I have a look at Tarquin?
And I think that Jadar should.
Etienne doesn't have one.
I think Jadar should attune Neathanel's spell adder,
Yeah.
but that can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do that. Yeah.
Because I
That
think
I'm
that
lucky.
Well, because I just think that Jada won't have enough power points to cast all the preservation spells on Kairos that she needs to. Well, she will just, but it will be good to have her attuned to. If she can borrow Neathanel's spell adder and Neathanel can teach her how to use it, when we've got a bit more time, well, once, then she'll have 2 more spells that she can cast off preservation on Kairos, because it's a times 2 spell adder, if that's okay.
Okay. Anything else I should be aware of, guys?
Only if, and bearing in mind the roles that have been going on, perhaps not. But Jada could, if we've got nothing else going on, and I think we should get ourselves in a position where we can see the other end of the beach.
Yes.
So those aren't directly involved. I think it should. Can we see the other end of the beach from where we are, Chris?
Sure. So I'll show you. Whoops. So coming out around the rock, several things. So people are standing here. Is that kind of enough? And you can just make out the boats down here, and you can see the light of the cave coming out here. So people are standing there watching. A couple of things you note. Firstly, this group is huddled here, discussing. Then there's a shout up to someone above, and a rope drops down. By the way, it's no longer kind of dusk, twilight. It's now well and truly night, and it takes a few minutes, but 3 people, you count 3 people, come down the rope from above, and join this group here. There's discussion amongst the group, and some of them stay where they are. A number of them head further down the way, further down towards the direction of the cave.
I'll just point out, by the way, the wood wall would have disappeared quite a while ago.
Indeed. Yeah. Yes, I'd figured that out. Thanks, Pete.
Well, I think if it's all right with everyone, Nathaniel and Tanya will keep an eye on that side of the beach and let themselves be seen, and just just sit there watching.
Okay.
And perceiving.
Okay. Cool. Any other actions that I should be aware of?
Just a question whether Jada would want to attempt to attune the PowerPoint multiplier for the sake of Etienne, it doesn't have one, so that would be something. I understood if she'd rather not, given that experience, but it might be handy.
I'll give it a go. Worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work.
Which multiplier, sorry?
Karios is one.
These...
essence. No, sorry, no, don't worry.
Nathan would want to keep an eye on the jolly boat, the floaty boat, please, just to throw out all of this.
Yeah, sure.
And top of the cliff to spot if she can see the remaining, at least one remaining archer. Just wanted to see if she can spot them.
Sure thing.
Okay. She'll suggest it to elves. Actually, she doesn't have good dark vision, but she'll suggest it to Leif. She'll suggest it to any other elves who've got good perception, like Tarquin. Yeah, or any of the elves to keep an eye on the boat and to see if they can spot people on the top of the cliffs.
Sure.
As well as, of course, what they're going to
Cool. So I'll just narrate. I'm not going to do dice rolls. To narrate, you do see when the figures come down, the 3 figures come down. You do see a 4th figure that does not come down the rope, but then disappears. So you don't know where that person is, but you're pretty sure that there's still someone up there. The boat, the longboat, does kind of bob around, and really it does stay within this bay. It's kind of gently floating further out to sea, but not in a hurry, and it kind of incrementally. The waves will eventually take it out, you think, but right now it's kind of about where it is. Okay, any other actions, guys?
Just an option for the party to consider. Do you want Nathaniel to go back into the water to keep an eye on things down that end of the beach, or should we just stick it out here?
She's got the PowerPoints, I reckon she should, and we'll put another person on guard. So long as they don't detect her, see her, and take alarm at it as well.
Yeah, true. And then she's got to communicate back. How's she going to do that? Why don't we see how things play out?
Yep.
Okay.
We probably need the PowerPoints, don't we?
Yep. Thoughts from Anthony Ostara?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm still trying to get my head around what we're doing.
Oh. Did you want another another sort of explanation-y sorts of thing?
Yeah.
Would that be helpful?
Yes, go. Because we all grouped around for a reason.
Well, the threat to us is sort of gone because there was another party, and they've got quite a number, that came down. I remember the session that you were there, but you spotted them, I think. There they are, and they have gone up to the cave. So now they're the ones in the line of fire from the cave, essentially. And we've made they've agreed not to kill us right now. So heat's off us. We're sort of, and I think we probably would have looked pretty battered and bruised anyway when we walked past them, so hopefully they recognise we're not a threat. So they have said that we shouldn't leave. We've told them that, I think we've expressed to them we're happy to help participate in the combat, but they haven't, but they're going to be doing they're going to invite us if they want us to. What else?
So we can't leave, but... Well, we could leave.
They've asked us. We could, but they've asked, but also, the ways to leave are up the top of this path, but there's a gap there, so we would need to fly our whole group, we would need to, or float off in that boat. So that's if we're talking about it as a group, that would be Mithan and Leif's option to jump in that boat, and that's why I don't want to lose sight of it. Jump in the long boat.
Okay. So for now, we're just hanging around.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know how you all feel about maybe a fast forward, but what it will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So great bit of narration from me. So you don't wait long. The people come down. People come down the rope, and I mentioned that some people, some of this party, it's harder to see, of course, at this distance. A few people go on in front, down in the direction of the cave. You definitely spot that. But a number stay roughly back where they are, and definitely they are looking back at you, and their companions. Probably about 15 or so minutes go past, and then there's you hear shouting from back down towards the cave, and you see a couple of figures running back in this direction towards the group here. About another 10 or so minutes go past, and then Severin, you see this man coming out, and he walks his way down to about here, and just yells out. I think your pseudonym is Aspen. No.
Yes, Aspen.
Aspen. Aspen. Bring your group. Come forward.
Seven will give a little dandy wave, and we'll walk out and request that the party, all those that can follow or want to follow.
Okay. Okay. So talk me through who's going, and I'd like to know. We know what people are taking, so let's go through on screen. Mithan, what are you doing?
Mithan will go. Yeah, bow out, arrow knock, that sort of thing.
Great. Tanya.
Yep, same.
Cool. Etienne.
Absolutely.
Okay. Leif.
Yep.
Great. Ustara.
Yeah, he's going.
Cool. Askell.
Yep. Cutlass out.
Cool.
And he'll do an instant spell when needed.
Cool. Severin, I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, Seven will go ahead.
Yep.
Doesn't want to spook him.
Yep, sure. Tarquin.
Weapon not drawn.
Tarquin.
We were thinking we could see if Tarquin would be okay to stay behind. He's got good elven night vision to guard Nicholas and those guys. So he'd hide back there with his...
Okay.
Well, he doesn't have a bow anymore, does he?
He does have a bow. He does have a bow. He just doesn't... He's got 6 arrows.
Yeah.
Do we need to leave Demos behind as well? Because do we trust Tarquin enough on his own?
Yeah,
We've only known him for like, what, a day? 2 days?
But given his controllers now, I think we'll be all right.
No offense,
Good
Charles.
point.
Okay.
But do we need to leave Demos behind? Just
I think personally Mason will want to be in on the action.
Cool. Demos is going. Cool. Anybody else staying? Come to what Tarquin does in a second. Go once, going twice, gone. Okay, cool. So the group heads off. I'll move you down in a second. What would you say collectively, guys? What and where would Tarquin do? So just quickly while you're thinking up an answer to that, Jada, you've crawled up in as dry a place as possible, thrown your clothes down, and just basically made a pillow with your pack, and have just desperately trying to sleep. Nicholas,
She's got a tarp, and to keep her dry.
Okay, cool. As mentioned, she's out comparatively out of the rain, at least from the overhang anyway. But yep, cool. Duly noted. Nicholas, anything you're doing?
He'll hurt a lot.
Yep.
But no, he would do his best to find a dry spot, perhaps next to Jada, I don't know.
Yep.
She's still invisible, correct?
She is.
Yeah. Nicholas will find a spot which, that's dry or out of the way, and will try to sleep best he can.
Okay, cool. Now this kind of it's not a cave. It's kind of an overhang, and you're both fully visible, at least from around this area. There is a slight bit of rock, or there is a bit of rock enough over your heads. Probably your feet are getting a bit wet. No, I said all of you are dry, but so you've got enough to keep you out of the rain, but you're not especially hidden in any particular way. But there's really not a lot of places specifically that you can see to hide that's dry. Where and what would Tarquin be doing, please?
I reckon just find the best hiding place where he's got a good view of the sea, and especially as much of the path and the beach as he can.
So where ideally would you position him?
Ideally, if that's a rock sticking out, he'd be, if there's a wee gap behind that rock, in behind there.
Okay. Would someone like me to get someone give me a masked hiding roll for Tarquin, please?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
No. 13.
Mask could be very good, it could be very bad. Okay. Cool. Okay. So Tarquin, what preparations would he had? You said he had his bow out and an arrow on the string, Pete?
I'd say so, and covered in his cloak as much as possible to keep things dry and to keep him dry.
Cool.
He doesn't have any invisibility spells. I don't know his spell list, but... I mean...
Yep, I will tell you that. 5. Can cast darkness. Night vision. Facade.
How long's night vision last?
10 minutes per level, 70 minutes.
Might be worth it, huh?
I think it'd be worth it if he's suspicious, I think.
Okay.
He's got pretty good perception, right? He's like 90.
Yep.
True.
And he's got nothing else to concentrate on, so he'll be focusing on perceiving.
Yep.
I reckon.
And
So
maybe you have a...
Yep. Going down his list, he does not, that I can see at a very quick glance, he doesn't have invisibility.
I reckon, yeah. If he gets into a pinch, darkness and night vision will be...
And if...
I know Askel's in Cove already walked away, but Askel did have that light dark spell. He could have cast darkness around them, but so they would be hard to see.
I think is that the same one that Tarquin has, I think. But it's a good idea.
Light Law?
I think that Askel might need his points, I'd suggest. Where we're going. But can we just have a quick chat with Tarquin, saying, look, if that boat starts looking like it's going to discharge people on this beach, can you come and get us?
Okay, so Tarquin gets that point. Yep. Okay. Tarquin is left as described with those preparations and with the intention that if he sees something, he would cast a combination of either darkness or night vision, and he's obviously perceiving, looking around, and I can take that from there. You walk up. Severin, you're out in front, as per there, and this collection of people are clustered around. The man that you were speaking to seemed to pick up his name was Yonton, and he comes up and he says to you, what is the best language for us to communicate in? He's speaking Thebronic. Do all of your people know Thebronic?
Not all. We generally communicate in Westron, don't we? Our lot. I think
Yes.
many of us know Thebronic, but not all. Generally, we speak in Westron. I am also fluent in South Tongue and Meltama.
Very few of us speak Westron here with Southerners. A few words here and there. Most of us know enough of South Tongue to get past. If South Tongue's any better to you.
A quick check of characters.
Gray does speak
Right.
South Tongue.
Etienne does not.
Leif does to 2, Methan does to 5.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's not. Well, no, and neither does. Yeah, I wonder if. Yeah, Nathan doesn't either.
Yeah,
So
Eskel.
Leif,
Demos
South Tongue.
Sorry.
speaks both from memory, Thebronic and South Tongue.
Who doesn't speak Thebronic?
Gray.
Right, so we have the same. Whichever way we go, we've got the same problem.
Don't we have that translator thing?
Babelfish.
We have, but it doesn't correspond with the people who who are missing the languages.
We'll stick to Thebronic. He says, can you translate for your people who don't understand?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of this team, by the way, and you can see them there. He says, come in closer so you can all hear. I don't want to shout, and I don't want our enemy to hear what we have to say. Now, these other people, and I'll just flick up, and you see a few new people, presumably the people that came down by a rope. So just again, she's new. You hadn't seen her previously. You hadn't seen this guy previously. And the other one you hadn't seen, I think, was this person. So all told, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 with Yonton. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're all looking pretty wary of you. You know, their weapons are out. Collection of bows and swords and you name it. They're definitely eyeing you up. The people are also, they and presumably you are also looking back over their shoulder the way that leads back down to the cave. Yonton says to you, and it's translated for those that don't understand. So, my scouts, 1 invisible, 2 with bows, have crept up. We didn't see any sign of this wall you described. We found the cave entrance, as you mentioned. We got fired upon and came back, but not before our invisible person. He nods at this figure here. Doesn't give a name. This figure here was able to have somewhat of a look inside. There are some spiked traps on the ground. Collection of people inside, undetermined. But it looks hard to penetrate, as you described, Aspen. We'd seen the crates that you mentioned, the braziers growing inside. There was enough movement to indicate that there was at least 4 or 5 people in there, and there were at least 2 bowmen that shot out at my team. You mentioned something about some kind of foul incantation, which injured some of you and felled perhaps one, maybe the young girl like we saw you carry past. We would like to firstly learn more of that. But looking at our numbers and looking at what we're trying to assault, we would cautiously welcome your involvement if you're willing. don't trust you. We don't know who you are. And what I will say is, you appear to have left others down the beach. You're injured, etc. If we are betrayed, you have my absolute word that I'll make sure, even if the rest of you escape, that they are slaughtered. So the people that you left down behind, unless they escape as well, we will hunt them down and kill you. So we don't trust you, we don't know who you are, and we do not want any kind of stab in the back. We don't want you to work as a team, deliberately as a team by yourselves. You'll be aligned with us and under my command. At the moment, I'll be honest, however, and say, and you have my word. While you have my word that we will slay those that you've left down the end of the beach if we can't slay you, if there's any kind of betrayal. You have my word that on this assault, while we go in and deal with whatever is in there, that my men will not harm any of you. But the very first sign of treachery, and we will be watching for treachery, we will turn on you. We think what you said last time to me, Aspen, is true. The fact that we found the corpses of 3 dogs up above. We then found some traps, and we've left, indeed, one of our number dead up to the traps, and others of our number injured up to the traps. That tallies with what you told us. We've encountered bodies at the foot of this cliff, and indeed, and he nods back down at the one that's Tarquin shot here. A body there, and one of our scouts saw another body outside the cave as you described. We're assuming that tallies with your work as you said it did. So we're assuming that you have no love of the people inside this cave. We can't be sure, of course, and we are taking an absolute risk at allying with you for what is about to come. But to complete what we were sent here to do, and we don't know what you were sent here to do, we don't think we can do it with ourselves alone, or if we can, it will be difficult. So, if all of you are willing, we can work together, at least temporarily, to overcome whatever confronts us in that cave. I will confess, because I haven't seen the entrance myself, and I've only had it on my scouts' reports, we are still scratching our heads how best to proceed. Do we use spearmen? And we have several here, and I notice that you have at least one, and he nods at Demos, to reach over the crates and try to keep people at bay with longer weapons, perhaps covered by archers, don't know. Do we use incantations? And we do have some spell weavers amongst ourselves here that might be able to assist as well. I don't know. We consider that fire is probably out of the question. Everything will be too wet. We think the chance of starting a fire, at least at the entrance of the cave, highly unlikely to get going, and probably a death trap if we do, but we're open to ideas. So, if you're willing, firstly an accord between us and you, temporary accord between us and you, and then secondly, we'd like to know what you know, and then thirdly, we'd like your thoughts on how we might jointly accomplish this task. Are you willing to discuss?
Severin bows respectfully and says, "We are indeed." And in fact...
Excellent. So time out. Time out. The GM has been waiting to get to this point to head to the loo. I'm going to leave you to have a chat, and I'll be back in a sec, guys. Have a chat, and we'll come back.
Fair enough.
What's the plan? I think we should find out what their plan was. Have an agreement about what happens after, but they're not going to kill us after.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to just point out that we're exactly the same situation as them. So
Yep.
we're equally numbered. We could be equally matched. With no interest in killing each other. We're here. Sounds like we're here to do similar things, so we may as well do them together. And I think you're right. We'll add to the accord that once we've done those things, we shake on it now that we go our separate ways. We've got no beef with each other, but we'll leave each other be, and that's that. And I guess maybe say if there is any loot in there, we split it straight down the middle.
Do we do the same as them? And they sort of holding Jada and Nicholas to ransom. Do we have to have some collateral? Like if you guys hurt us, we've also got some people staying behind, or no?
I'll point out that we've got a number of people staying behind.
Yeah, and jokes on them. One of them's already dead, and one of them's invisible. They can't kill. They can't kill all of
people
us.
staying behind is still very capable, but so
and
they've potentially only got one staying behind. So anyway,
I think the information we should give them is that there's the magical protection on the cave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've already told them that.
Oh, cool. The spidery guys. I think we want to know if the ship that sailed in is theirs, the one that's come in response to their message, or if it's the enemy's. And I do think that your tactic of going underneath a longboat is a great idea.
And the spider thing, it's only hiding because of the rain. So if the rain stops, we all need to be careful.
The what, sorry?
The spider is only staying in there because of the rain. If it stops raining, it will come out. It's hiding from the rain.
Reckon it could come out anyway. It was hiding under the shelter, so it wasn't rained on whilst it was invisible, so we couldn't see it. That's why we couldn't see it. Yeah, but I wouldn't count on it not coming out.
Oh, okay.
It'd be handy if it was afraid of water.
Would be. Well, it might be.
Just one other thought. Neathanol has one single smoke bomb left.
True.
So we
can do fog. I think Eskel can do fog, and can do wolves. If that's of any help.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought fog might be if we were to plan where we would attack and where. That would at least prevent additional arrow fire, right?
Yeah. Problem with fog, it's a huge cloud and it's permanent. You can't dispel it. So.
Yeah, the smoke bomb only lasts a round, of course.
Yeah. Need something in the middle. Anyway. Any thoughts?
No.
Well,
there's going to be a lot of people to sort of move in, so...
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, like almost 20 people. It's going to be pretty condensed, and I guess watch out for the old spider throwing acid balls again.
Agreed.
They don't trust us. We should try and help a lot, not stay back.
Nudge them in first.
Well, they're going to want us to go mixture in first, aren't they?
At least half of us.
What about using the boats as cover? They're quite big, though.
That's a good idea.
But I mean, we could turn them upside down and do a tortoise.
Yep.
Roman.
Or at least to get in there initially with bow cover. I don't know. Yeah. See what they think.
Quite heavy, though, I guess.
True.
But
True. And you're happy with the talking, Stephen?
yeah, sure. What about fog, though? You don't think it's any good? Too disorienting for later?
It does this. I mean, you might have a different spell, Anthony. I don't know, but my one is.
The wind one that can blow away the fog.
Oh, that's a very good point. My one is 10-foot radius per level, so that's 160 foot diameter sphere for Leif. And the problem is the duration is permanent, which means he can't just snap his fingers and cancel it. The fog's actually there.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which also means, I suppose, what we could do, what about that? Cast fog, and then get a wind to blow it into the cave. So it's natural fog. It's not magical fog, so maybe it'll make it past the magic shield. I don't know. Does anyone have wind?
No.
Neathanol has something in that regard.
So fog can get the range is 100 foot, so you could erect it in there in the first place.
But there's a protection on the cave, you see.
Oh,
I mean, maybe it's gone. Who knows?
Yeah, she's got a focused
Fire it
wind. She has focused wind, but it's has a target against it, so I don't know whether it would work on fog.
Targets.
Well,
Find the definition of targets.
if the target fails he is buffeted by strong winds as the character concentrates.
Oh, it sounds like it used to be a thing. But I do think can be objects. But maybe that didn't work. Target. But the term target or targets refers to the beings, animals, objects, and or material that a spell is attempting to affect.
What do you think, Jim?
GM's just bolting some food because he missed dinner. So keep talking. He'll come back to you in a second.
Okay, so it's a question about because I reckon so that might move it, but that sounds a bit convoluted. But
also, Gray's got that illusion thing where he could put an illusion of something rather than an actual fog.
Yeah,
I don't know quite how it works.
They can do the same one, a phantasm.
The thing is, there's so many of us. I mean, the smoke bomb lasts one round, but that would get us to the crates, right?
To the caltrops.
If she could throw it, mind you, she has to throw it through. Yeah, I mean, she's got to throw it through the hole, though, isn't she? Which might be a bit tricky. Or we get the boats, use them as there's so many of us. Surely we could use that as a shield and ram the crates with it. And then.
Well, do we want to have another go at putting the fog inside their cave? I think it's a great idea.
Oh well, if we could, I suppose you could do that. Yeah, see if you can get over the barrier for sure.
Yeah. I think why not start with that? Yeah, it's got a number of things, as always. It's 3 power points. Oh. Oh no.
What?
Well, you might have a different spell, Anthony, but my fog is self.
Self, as in on you.
Yeah, because when I look at elemental ways, it's fog is the range is S for self, and then it says as fog on the water law magician's base list, and on the water law.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I think
range
that,
is.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
But real pain. Some of those spells are like that for the warrior mage stuff. They're not quite the same, and it's.
Oh yeah, so that's not going to work, is it?
Okay. GM is back. Severin has indicated, Aspen has indicated that yes, you want to work together. What do you say?
So, yeah, he'll just point out that, politely, that they're in exactly the same situation. Obviously, we don't know who you are either. We have no reason to trust you or other.
Understood.
So we are exactly the same. So any perceived threat goes both ways. I'm not going to threaten any of your people because I genuinely don't see them want any harm to come to them. We're not here to do that. We're just here to dispatch these foul people from that cave and prevent the weapons being spread all around the kingdom. The kingdoms in this area and making life a misery for the people. And the people are trying to keep order in this part of the world. So we're just here to do a job, really. So we've got no reason to dislike you or take issue with what you're doing. We have more in common than divides us, from my perspective. And I'll gladly shake your hand and assure you that I'll turn to my people and get their assurance. We will not harm you. We've no reason to. If we wanted that, we'd have done it by now. There's nothing there for that. I would, however, seek the same assurance from yourself, and that when this deed is done, as I hope it will be, that we part as allies, possibly even friends. But I would want some assurances that we will part without any argument and disquiet between us. We're going to become comrades in arms and I believe that will bond us. I have just a few questions, if I may. The vessel out in the harbour, is that something you summoned, or is this their ship? We believe.
We've no idea what that ship is.
Likely it's theirs. It's holding off at the moment. I have asked our people to keep an eye on that ship. I'm sure you've done the same, just in case they tried to land anyone. So it's possible that during this attack, a single figure may come from behind, and that will be to warn us if anything. He will only do that if that ship starts to look like they're going to land people on the beach, because obviously we don't want people coming up behind us en masse.
You're not.
But yes, we're more than happy to bang heads together and figure out a way of getting in there. As mentioned, there's some form of, or there was at least some form of spell protection when we tried about half an hour ago.
So what happened?
Our spells were ineffective. They bounced off. We threw several spells at the cave entrance and they were ineffective. You're right what you say about the caltrops. We've seen the people. We have reason to believe there are possibly just less than 20 people in there. That would be our best guess, based on interrogating one of their number a few days ago. We don't think he was lying, but it's entirely possible that he was.
Believe it or not, it was just yesterday, but yes.
Yesterday. That would be our best guess. The creature, the Spider-Man creature, has an ability of spraying a deadly acid. We would best keep our distance and dispatch that foul thing with long-range weapons if we can, and there's no guarantee we can once we're in there. But yes, that is what slay our good friend and damaged several of our comrades in that single attack. So I would suggest that spider creature is, from what we know, the priority to disable as quickly as possible.
Spider creature? What is this spider creature? And you can see them, by the way, for those that, presumably most of them speak Thebronic, but a few maybe are a little bit slow on the uptake. You can see them kind of explaining, spiders, and they're looking, there's some quite alarmed looks coming in your direction.
So Tevin will give a description of what he saw.
Okay.
And he said that it was lingering under the cave entrance. Obviously, it can climb up walls. We didn't see it above us, and it attacked us, and we paid heavily for it. I'd suggest that would be our priority in self-preservation. Would really be happy to talk tactics with you. We did have we've tried spells. That's not to say that spells won't work going forward, but we have tried them. We did have one thought that we have some boats. The one you just pushed out might offer us some protection if enough of us inverted it and used it as a massive shield against those crates. Would possibly cover a lot of those holes, and that might get us close in.
How would we carry it? How would we move it?
Well, I mean, this is my assumption, Chris. So if I would also have a rough idea, having been quite close to it. But do you think like 10 people could carry that boat?
No, it's too heavy.
Right.
Yep. I mean, it is a very, very long boat. Possibly. It'd probably be more than 10 people. It's very solid.
Right.
It was enough to carry 14 people at a pinch. It's a pretty big, it's not a little thingy. It's a fair-sized craft. Maybe at a pinch, but probably more than 10.
We also have the ability to create fog, but that still has the problem of possible spell failure. We have other offensive spells, but again, the same problem as before. Obviously, there's quite a number of us to get in there at any one time. Yet potentially we could charge them and take. If we got to the wall, if we could disable somehow think of avoiding the first couple of rounds of arrows and got to that crates.
What's a round?
First 20 seconds.
Ah, okay. Oh, thanks.
Then we that might give us a foothold or toehold. Have you anything that would? The caltrops are a problem. Do you have anything that we could lay down over it, or what sort of equipment have you got?
In terms of the incantations we can cast, we can charm people, we can investigate people's minds. Some of us can debilitate people for a period of time with a loud noise. Some of us here can also take fog. Some of us here can move very quickly instantaneously from one place to another. One of us at least has an offensive spell, can cast a minor bolt of lightning from their hand. We have some modest healing abilities, casting a brilliant flash of light. Can also climb, perhaps somewhat as that one of us can at least climb, somewhat as that foul spider thing that you describe, and go invisible. Those are our collection. None of us here are deep users of the essence, but we have those abilities. In terms of items that we could throw over those horrible spikes, nothing more than our bedrolls that we could think of. Nothing immediate.
No.
Is there some way to perhaps blow them or sweep them out of the way? I mean, you can. It looks like you can, according to, and he gestures at one of his men, it looks like you can sidestep them, but it takes time. And to go through cautiously is surely a recipe, well, maybe a recipe for disaster. Do we, and a number of you have shields, as do a number of us, do we form a shield wall and just simply charge them? Shield walls up. You say that incantations haven't worked, so just simply numbers. Some try to push the crates over, some try to climb over the crates if necessary. The spearmen use spears to force those, or at least keep those behind the crates at bay. And critically, if there are enough shields in front of us, perhaps we could avoid the bow fire coming directly from in front of us.
It sounds like a good plan. Do we try and proceed that with a few spells?
What would you suggest?
Well, I thought your loud noise possible spells, they may not work, but if we could hold those arrow fire off even for 10 seconds, it would improve our chances.
Yes.
It fails.
It basically affects their minds. The only difference is it's a 10-foot radius. Hang on. Let me just check.
Leif would remind Severin, if there's a pause, of that he can do the phantasm as well.
Yep. What was he thinking?
Just as a way of drawing fire when we're about to do our assault, basically.
Unfortunately, the range is only 10 foot.
My friend has reminded me he can do phantasms that might draw some fire. So if we were to send a figure immediately ahead of us to run across the mouth of the cave, that might draw some fire, and then the rest of us can pile in behind.
Yes. Yes.
Let me throw it out to the teams. I'm sure you want to do similarly. Anybody else got any ideas?
No.
I'm just reading through Grey's spells. He's got animal sleep, which can put things to sleep. I assume spiders? It's just a level 1 spell.
I'm not sure this is going to be an animal. I think it's sort of
animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fortunately. The one thing that Etienne would pipe up and say that he can bless everybody in this party significantly if they gather before the attack and give them a distinct advantage in combat.
There's kind of muttering amongst some. A couple of them say they don't trust foreign gods, but some say, yeah. What god does he pray to?
He'll explain.
What's he say?
He'll say he worships the goddess of love, Aphrodite, and he has the ability to grant prowess in movement and in combat for all those who wish to gather with our group. If they wish to, then they will be blessed in that way if they choose to.
You hear somebody at the back mutter heretic. But a couple of the others say, about 3 or 4 of the others say, yeah, we pray to the old gods. Yeah, that would be welcome. Yonton looks kind of indifferent.
Okay.
But 3 or 4 of his team do say the same. Yep.
Yeah. Other than the fog, I haven't got anything else. Anybody else? It sounds like the phantasm's the best idea, right?
This makes sense to us. Use that to draw some fire and then rush them. If we had some charge straight ahead with shields up as much as they can, kick through the caltrops maybe. So hefty fighters in front, and then those with spears or longer weapons that can reach over the barricades and keep anybody at the barricades at bay. Perhaps this is a suggestion. I'm open to other thoughts, of course. But though others could shelter behind the crates until the way is clear, or maybe even go over the crates, or push the crates over. Who knows? Maybe they move, and then we rush them.
One of our number also carries a smoke bomb. It only lasts about 10 seconds, but may linger in a confined space. That would, if thrown through the hole, that would disorient or at least blind everybody inside for about 10 seconds ago. So perhaps she might try that, if it's possible, once we reach the crates. And once that goes off, that would signal, a signal perhaps for people to move forward.
Done. We have a plan. Time is wasting. I don't like the look of that ship any more than you do. Do we have a plan?
Certainly.
Okay.
How do you wish to divide our party?
Who is good in a fight? Up front,
well,
close
we
and
all
personal.
And
who's got a shield?
Well, I have a shield. Etienne says he has a shield. Who else has a shield?
Askel can have a magic shield.
What about Grey?
He does.
They're up. That's our. What about anybody else? Pipe up. That'll be our standard 4, right? Usually.
Leif as well.
Oh yeah.
Except 5. He will be casting the phantasm in the same round as the charge.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, maybe not then. So would that be our 4?
So that was Severin, Etienne, Grey, and Leif.
Askel.
And Askel. Yep.
What about Demos?
Oh yeah. Does he have a shield? He does, doesn't he?
He does. But the suggestion is spearmen.
Oh yeah.
Of which there are several. use their spears.
Once we get there.
Once we get there.
Okay, so they'll go in the row behind then.
Yes.
Okay.
So Demos, I'm moving these on screen. You tell me if not appropriate. But Demos is assigned to work with them. In terms of their front line, Yonton is definitely with you. This man here is also with you in the frontal assault. This guy is at the frontal assault. And this guy.
So that's all good, but how are we going to stop? So we probably need some bow people to shoot through the open entrance, right? If we are going square on to the crates, our flank may be open to the entrance beyond the caltrops. So I suspect we need our archers to quickly fire through that gap, I'd suggest, or keep that. They can't obviously fire at the wall because we'll be right there. That might be they should maybe move into a position where they could cover that entrance.
There's only one entrance in.
But I don't think we're going to squarely go up to the. As we stand in front of the caltrops, will be open to anybody in through that passage, correct?
Yes, but in theory, your phantasm would have drawn some fire. Our shields will be up in front of us as we push past the caltrops. And the spear people will be at the crate wall themselves, using their spears to try to keep the people beyond the wall at bay. And maybe if we have... so first up are these people as the assault, then come in the spears to reach over the barricades and basically try to spear anybody that's shooting out or whatever. And then perhaps behind that, whoops, and Askell was there too. And then behind that, 1, 2 from their party, and whoever you would volunteer could be bow people behind to try to pick anybody off.
Yep. Well, that would be Tanya and Mithan, yeah. Tanya and Mithan, yeah.
Okay, alright. Thon. Tanya. This magic user type, and this guy here are kind of looking at Neathanol and Leif and going, what about, and Jonton says, what about these two? Looking at Neathanol and Leif.
Neathanol is stealthy, but can also handle herself in a fight. She has that smoke bomb, however, so she might reach in and attempt to throw it through. Of course, if she misses, it'll explode on our side, so she'd have to be fairly certain. I wonder if she tries to throw it through the entrance of the down between the crates.
We won't be able to see where we're going.
No, you won't, but only for 10 seconds, but then no one will be able to see you approaching either.
Sure. And your other friend? Looking at Leif?
Leif, he will not be able to go in he's got a sword and shield. He won't be able to go in the first charge as he will be casting the Phantasm spell. He can come in after that and do backup.
Okay.
And find a place where he's needed.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to... now, a lot of counters on the board. Lot of pieces. So if you'll just bear with, while the GM just does a bit of, oops, a daisy. First person. There we go. A bit of organisation. I'm going to move some counters up. I'm going to take off screen just in case you guys get to see anything you shouldn't see. There we go. And I'll just do some moving around. We'll come to actual order. Does anybody in terms of the frontal assault, is anybody volunteering to go first?
No volunteering, I don't think. No, but you know.
Someone with deflections, maybe.
Actually, yeah, Severin has deflections on his shield, so yeah, he could do that.
Okay.
Sorry to volunteer.
But that means if he casts, what happens? He can't move, though, can he?
Correct.
Oh, 10% action.
No, so 10% action.
Oh, okay, all right.
Mithan would offer Askell her target shield if he doesn't have a real shield, because she fears that his shield will evaporate. Possibly.
Yeah, potentially.
He doesn't need. He might as well have the target shield if that suits him.
Yeah, for sure. It saves you power points.
Yeah, yep.
I don't know. That would be an awful thing to have happen.
Yeah.
Bright line charge and then your shield disappears.
Dissolves,
And your target shield, so it's only 20, I think.
Now, the GM, well, the NPCs made some suggestions. You know, oh no, you have a plan. Let's not spend forever talking about it. Cool. All right. GM's just doing a little bit more organization. Okay.
I think we'll take our cue from, well, that's what Lake's planning on doing in Mithan.
And obviously, yeah, and so several make it clear that they all need to gather immediately before they go in, so that Etienne can bless them, or those who want to.
Yep. So we'll do that. We'll assume that was done probably before you go, and within plenty of time. So if you want to get a dice roll ready, Graham, and we can go from there.
I'll roll it now.
Yep. Cool.
9.
9. With adequate preparation, which I'm assuming Etienne is doing, it's not It's not a 1 or a 2. I mean, I can say the spell failed otherwise, but no, that spell went off. Certainly all of your party now have the effect, whatever it is. Can you describe it to me? And a few of theirs do too. What is the effect, please?
It is Inspirations 2. Caster inspires all allies who are within the area of effect. All gain plus 10 to melee attacks and maneuvering maneuvers for the duration of the spell. This works during combat or before, immediately before combat and a highly religious moment, i.e. an oratory presentation prior to a live battle. These bonuses did not apply to the caster.
Okay. Lovely.
So he will give a typically grand address as he likes to.
Cool. Very good. Lovely. Okay. Done. So duly noted. Please, can people remind me of that? Okay. So I'm not going to roll rolls for sneaking up to everybody getting in position. Everybody assumably moves up safely. You're ready. Kind of poised, ready to go. I'm going to switch the camera back on to stress. You're not going to be in exactly the right position, but let's just talk through this in a second. So just generally, I've placed the a little bit of a giveaway there. I've placed the frontal assault team here. That's them, and we'll go through who's where when. Like right behind them, like right on their heels, and you can only go kind of one abreast through at least this area here, but then obviously it opens up to probably 2 abreast through here. Are the 4 spear people, Demos, and then 1, 2, 3 of your erstwhile companions. Right on their heels are 4 bow people, Mithan, Tanya, and 2 of theirs. Leif, I'm thinking you're wanting to be further up. where would you be? And I'd say the same to. They have a spellcaster and Neathanal, and their sneaky person as well. So Leif, maybe starting question with you, bearing in mind, fully get the fact you're not standing out there as obviously as you are. Get that you're huddled into the walls, probably single file. Where would Leif go?
Where does he need to go? He's intending to send an illusion of one of their sneaky people.
Yep.
And he'll let them know that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
He's going to send an illusion, the phantasm of one of their sneaky people, running across the whole of the mouth of the cave. So he probably just needs to see across the straight to the mouth. So he can people straight to the mouth of the cave. So he'll probably be a decent way up the path, couldn't he? At the first sticking out point, the first major sticking out point.
Are we there, crouching?
Yeah.
No, because if you remember, that point there is the point of no return.
But that's from the entranceway. He doesn't need to see the gap in boxes.
Okay, so he's wanting to just see up here.
Yeah, so across the front of the cave mouth. So he doesn't need to sort of hit that. Yeah.
Okay, so he's not in the line of fire, and he would be based kind of there to cast a spell. He's got he's got a clear vision. He can't see the crates, but he can just make out kind of this area here, shall we say? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep, perfect.
Thank you. Before we go through kind of order here, what are we doing with Neathanal as the last person?
Well, she'll have her smoke bomb ready if she gets into the position to use it, which is doubtful. Otherwise, she'll have her sword out, and she's ready to follow in behind. I don't know much else she can do at this point.
So at the end, behind the archers.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And that is call it their mage by the looks of it, and their person who appears to be a stealthy individual as well. Have I missed anybody? I have not. Okay.
Question for Askell, just quickly. Askell, do you have deflections?
Yes, he does.
Might you want to cast that too? It only turns one arrow, but that arrow might prove important. So if you get shot at, it will, it won't hit you.
I assume if we're going through, it'll get the spell will get.
So it'll be if they're going to fire arrows at you, you can probably count that'll happen when we go around the corner here, right? What I was suggesting is that if we both try and get around that corner, even if one of us gets wet feet, and both have deflections cast at the same time, that deflects 2 arrows.
Yep.
Even if one of us gets wet feet, that means that's 2 fewer arrows, right? And hopefully a couple of arrows will be shed on the illusion. Have we any other means? Is there just one illusion? Anybody else got no one else obviously can cast any kind of illusion, right? That'd be the lot.
Yeah, I've. Last question, then let's move it on. Okay.
Great. Sorry, Gray can use his spell adder to cast a phantasm too. Actually.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's have 2 figures running.
If Gray is willing to do that. Sarah?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it, but yep.
Okay. So Gray, you're going to sit out the actual assault then. Tell me what to do, guys. Tell me what's going on.
I think that's worth doing, Stara, because that's one fewer arrow.
Yep. I reckon Gray. I reckon. Yep. Yes.
What do I do with add a thing?
Leif will do you don't worry about anything. It just means that once a day you can cast a spell that without using power points.
Oh, I can't cast anything though. Does that matter? Remember,
if you don't have power points, but that's what the adder does. It means you can cast a spell without using up the power points.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep. And so, yep. Leif's going to do a scouty sort of person. Why don't you do a warrior running towards them? Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. So, does Gray kind of stand... Oh, Gray goes back with Leif, correct?
Yeah.
To cast the spell. All right, cool.
In consultation with Yonton, surely.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks that more distractions, the better. Gray, I'm going to put you in the ocean. You're not in the ocean. You're standing next to exactly next to Leif, which is there. It's just getting a little bit cramped there. The party at the front, Several and Yonton are standing side by side. Any disagreement with that? Next, Askell and this strange-looking gentleman, followed by Etienne and this guy, and then this guy behind. Any issue with that?
Just one final thing. Niathanol could cast Shadow Mentalist. It will be overcasting, but that would also give a copy of her 100 feet away. So that would be another arrow deflected. What do we think?
Do it. If she can, do it.
Okay, well, she'll need to prepare, and so she'll join the other two then in wherever they're casting, behind the rock. 100 feet, but she'll need lots of preparation and swirling around, but she'll take a chance.
Okay. So Niathanol moves up to the same position, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And this would be a copy of her.
Yep. Niathanol. Okay, so three characters, Niathanol, Gray, and Leif are standing effectively shoulder to shoulder within sight of the mouth. You can't see what's going on inside the caves. You can't see where you're currently standing, but you can see kind of the gap outside the mouth of the cave. Good. Cool.
So we know the signal is to look for the phantasms as they pass and then attack.
Right.
After they've passed, yeah.
Right. Cool. And what I'm going to do is everybody is waiting, ready to go. So as soon as that happens, anybody that has had their initiative first will act on seeing those phantasms. If that makes sense?
Yeah, once they've gone, yeah.
Once they've gone, sure. Once they've gone. But then, obviously, if you've had the opportunity to move before, then you move before. Or no, actually, all of these people would be ready to move together.
Yes, definitely,
yes,
yeah.
Got it. Yeah, okay. So, cool. All right, I think I know... Yeah, all right. That will need to come down to the slowest person there, who I suspect is probably Severin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very good. Any last? So I'll go over very quickly everybody else's preparations. Clearly, the three people that are about to cast spells have prepared fully for the time that you have. Preparations for yourself, Severin.
Obviously, he's readying. He's got his shield up. He's getting readying that deflection spell, helmet on, everything ready to roll. Not much more he can really do.
Okay. Askell, any other preparations I should be aware of?
Yep, just ready to cast that deflection spell, which is instant. Just cutlass out, ready to go.
Okay, cool. Etienne?
Yep, sword out. Prayers and so forth. And I think he will, if he's got time, he will also cast another spell, but if there isn't time, he won't.
Yeah, yep, if he wants to cast another spell, he can. Yep.
In which case, he will cast Symbol Strike.
Okay.
Which, if he gets an attack, will help.
You're on. Again, 4 rounds prep.
Yeah. Waving, gesticulating.
Yep.
Much praying. 43.
Success.
Okay. Well, if he hits anything, I'll let you know.
Cool. Very good. Okay, and then Tanya and Smith, other than having arrows on the string, any other preparations I should be aware of?
Tanya will set her sword to kill communists. Or whatever.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I've been very generous. Etienne has, and you and I need to remember this, Graham. He has armor on, and he's.
No, yep. True. Good. True. Yep.
So how do we do this?
Would you want to take that role as a transfer and then have a go?
No, I say we both forgot. I'm saying we start from scratch. We go back to your blessings one where everybody gets 10%, and you roll a 101 plus. You're successful, and then again with the second roll. So ignore those. No one has a buff, a plus 10 buff at the moment. Give me a roll, please, Graham, for transcending an armor.
7.
7. Okay.
So which one is this for? Because he gets 1 free, right?
No, he's well and truly used that up over a day.
Okay.
Yep, well and truly. And truly.
Plus 85.
7 plus 85. That spell, it's not over 101, which means that's a failure. So
He doesn't get any bonus for anything.
So the way we're playing, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, the way we're playing Transcend Armor rules is you've got the choice. You can either decide to proceed with the spell, or you can pause and effectively try it again.
Oh, I'll try it again.
Okay, give me a roll. I mean, people are getting impatient and wanting to go, but there's no critical rush. Yep.
Etienne's favourite number, 69.
69 plus?
85.
85. That's well and truly over 101. So, retrospectively, everybody does now have a plus 10 bonus.
Cool.
And I'll only, just to keep things moving, he's got one more chance to get it for the spell he just cast.
Okay.
So
96.
96. You can roll again if you want to, but fair to say that absolutely went off.
Cool.
And you are keeping track of PowerPoints? Right, very good. Okay. You are all set. You are all ready to go. Unleash hell, as they say. Hang on a sec.
Jeez.
And we are off.
We really just hold on for that.
we are off. We are into the sound of combat. Are you feeling lucky? All right. First round. Now, as I say, please bear with me. There are many characters, so it's going to take me a little bit to sort them out. There we go. Excellent. We are off. The GM is looking at the initiative. It's a new encounter. We are off, rolling initiative, and we're away. So, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle through
all of the kind of the slowest people to get to Severin, and after this round, it will then go into absolutely just initiative. It'll just happen the way initiative falls. But this round, you're able to coordinate, you're able to run together, you're able to keep pace with each other. Realistically, after this, your ability to communicate is going to be a lot sketchier. So everybody before Severin will get an opportunity action that includes good guys and bad guys. Once we get to Severin, that's the point where people run forward, and by then I'd imagine that the spells can go off. So I'll read people's order as they come up. Read your order as they come up. Neathanel, you're not surprisingly first, ready to act. You can cast your spell.
She'll cast a spell.
Yeah, cool. We'll actually, yeah. What I might do is this is happening effectively simultaneously, but yes, let's do it now, and then I'll just kind of describe what happens once it gets to Severin. So Severin, Neathanel, give me a roll, please, for the spell. You've prepared. It's a 75. It's an instantaneous spell that I'm aware of. So it costs you 75 percent to action. You only fail with your preparation on a 1 or a 2. Give me a roll, please.
82.
82. That spell is very successful.
That's an overcast by 1 level.
Oh. Okay. So in that case, it was a failure of a 1 or 2 plus 20. You needed to get above 22. You got above 22. Success. Spell went off. I hadn't quite tweaked it was an overcast. The spell was successful. What is your... Now this is happening kind of... You're looking at each other and you do it at the same time. What is your action with your spell?
So immediately in front of the cave entrance, a duplicate... Well, no, sorry. Off to the side, a duplicate of Neathanel.
Yep.
Runs forward with sword out, keeping low, running for the as closest to the cave entrance as she can, running across it.
So over here. So running from here to here.
Yeah, running and dodging and
running.
Cool.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got it. Thank you. That spell was successful. I'll come describe what happens in a second. Leif, your spell.
Just gonna cast the spell. Jesus!
What was the roll?
I know that was going to happen. That's a 1.
That's a 1. That's a spell failure.
Oh, this seems to happen every time.
Roll the dice, please, and hope for a very low number.
Is 74 quite low?
It's quite high, actually.
It's not open-ended, though, thank goodness.
Not open-ended.
That's just rubbish luck. Oh well.
It is rubbish luck.
Lucky there's 2 others doing it. Yes, good planning.
Apparently, inconvenient distraction causes caster to cast a useless spell, but not lose the spell points. Leif, you are stunned 1 round, so next round you are stunned. Hang on a sec, I'll just amend.
Next round he's stunned. Okay.
Yep, because you've acted this round. 1 round stunned. Next up.
He'll just swear.
Yep. Yeah, damn it! Next up is Mithan. You're definitely way further down the pack.
Opportunity movement, I guess, if people in front of him move.
Understood. Yep. Yep. There's a lot of people in front of you. Askell, you've now had the opportunity to. Well, everybody is waiting for the slowest person for Severin. So Askell, you're definitely moving, obviously. Etienne, ditto. Tanya, again the same as Mithan, I'm assuming. Severin. So we've had 1 spell. We haven't had Grey yet.
Yeah, waiting for Grey.
Waiting for Grey. Cool. Grey is directly after you. Go for it, Grey. Same
Grey,
principle.
I'm hoping he's already in his best armour and has his hand axe out. He's going to throw the phantasm spell of a highly, it can be whatever he wants, so just some sort of highly armoured warrior. Okay. And did he? No preparation, just with the spell adder, you just do it.
No, you do need to prepare with the spell adder.
Oh, I will prepare.
Yep, assumed you have, yes.
I will throw the spell.
Cool.
Okay. Second. Oh, shoot. Did that work? 52.
Success.
Woohoo!
So, so two figures from here, basically from this rock, crouching down where the rest of you are kind of crouching down, sprint forward, and they run from here. Whoops, from here across here, the other side. And yes, indeed, realistically, no one, unless they want to sacrifice part of their round to count, I'm not going to tell you how many bows go off, but there's definitely twangs of arrows, and at least 2, if not 3, you think bows are fired. Severin, you're right in front, and you definitely see at least a couple of arrows coming out this way, for sure.
On the foreshore?
On the foreshore, for sure. The phantasms have run across. First up is Yonton. He's keeping pace with you, Severin, and he runs with a battle cry, and he rolls a 3.
Plus 10 if he's
plus 10 with followed up by a 0-3, so it wasn't a yeah, it's a very short distance. Look, he stumbles. It's not a great start. I mean, this is happening simultaneously, Severin, but not a great start. He trips, he stumbles, but he makes his way up to kind of the point where the caltrops are. Damn it. Oh no. Damn it. Hang on a sec. Lost my counter. You should have had a play with it.
Take the roof off the cave.
Yep. Damn it. Oh, for
sound of. Do you want to put your sound of construction on?
Yeah. That's really irritating at exactly the wrong moment, and I don't actually know where he's gone. Oh, hang on. Yes, I do.
Is it like rolling a 0-1 on your phantasm spell?
No, I know exactly what happens. Actually, I just need to do a very quick little tweak for all of these characters and say Fog of War doesn't apply. He was right in front of us, but the software made him invisible, because there's a piece of software which says if you go into the bit that's hidden, you ignore Fog of War, click. So that's fine. You will now be able to see him. If I go back on screen, change colour. Did you not know that, Pete?
No, so he didn't disappear. He
was
put
right there.
visibility on himself.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys just couldn't see him. So coming back, he runs up and gets to basically the point of where the caltrops are. Severin, you're next in line. Give me a tell me what Severin does. It's 20. It's the distance between you and the caltrops is 30 foot away.
So he's going to head for Tommy's left. He's going to keep his shield raised against the arrows. He's going to cast deflections if one is unleashed, and he's going to make it to the cover of the crates. so that he can't be fired upon.
So where are you? Like
directly left directly left, unless direct sort of crouched in there. Obviously, if there's a gap, he won't stand in front of it. But if those crates are indeed close together, he will crouch there with his shield up.
Cool. Okay. Next up, Askell. Actually, Severin, just to do that, it is a heat of a moment. He's moving. I mean, he could basically, he could walk. Actually, he could walk there. Sorry, I'm not going to ask for a dice roll. Is there anything else other than moving up and moving where he is? And what speed is Severin moving? I guess.
With his companion, right? They're moving together.
So that is a jog. So I want a dice roll. All I'm interested in is a failure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you go 27. You're fine. Cool. Askell.
So yeah, he'll cast a deflection spell. Or he moves.
Okay, give me a roll. It's an instantaneous.
11.
Whoops, 11. It's an instantaneous spell. So long as it wasn't 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, he's fine. You've cast, and where do you move to, please, Askell?
He'll go to the right of the blue base.
Here?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Probably a bit more to the right, yeah.
Oops, a daisy.
You can't, but yeah.
Kind of. Oh, damn it.
The intent is there, yes.
Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake. Love the software, but sometimes I really don't love the software. So I get the fact.
That's close enough.
Yeah, cool, got it. Thank you. Can I? Yeah. Okay, cool, got him. Next, companion runs up behind, and indeed, like Severin, thrusts himself up against the back of the crate. This is going to get tedious. So he is positioned like Severin. Askell, just a quick jogging maneuver, because assuming you're travelling at the speed as everybody else, again, just no failures.
Yep. Uh, 80.
80, cool. You are absolutely fine. Etienne, give you the opportunity to move first.
Yep.
Where does he go?
Yep, he's going to move to the left of the chap with the blue base, in between the two crenellations, so flat against exactly there, yeah. And with his sword out, looking for anybody who sticks any limbs out between the gaps, hard against the crates.
Okay. Let's see if this map wants to play nice. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, we know he's up against the... we know he's up against the wall.
Come down, Etienne.
We know he's up against the wall. He's not there, he's up against the wall. Got it. And then these two here follow suit and are basically, like you guys, the rest of you, kind of pinioned in. Again, the map's not going to particularly like us, but they're doing the same. So they've moved up and they're crushing against the wall. The spear people move up, ready to with shields and spears ready to go, and they're kind of waiting for this area to kind of clear, basically for you guys to move in, and they'll be behind you. And then again, it's a bit like a railway station. The four bow people move up, and I'm not going to do this much more other than to say we've got Leif. Did I pick up Leif by accident? I think I might have. I did. I picked up Leif by accident. Leif, you're back here, having cast a spell. And lastly, these two characters move up. cool. That is the end. We're going to say that is the end of that round. Okay. End of rounds. Initiative. And we're off. Okay. As I said,
I don't want to tempt fate, but was there no blowfire?
There was none. There's no additional bowfire. This person, no. Yeah, 21. 2. There you go. Yep. As I say, guys, just bear with as I go through a lengthy list of combatants. Ah, got it. Right, cool. This person here closes his eyes, shouts some words, and screams, and seems to do something into the cave. Those that are paying attention. Okay, there. Right. Point blank range, this person basically leans over the edge of the crate and tries to shoot this guy here with a crossbow. Number D. Cool. Quite a bit of cover for the person pushed up against the wall. So a lot of cover. So it would be the same for Etienne and others. It is at point blank range, however. And it's 10. It's a few fumbles tonight. There was cursing from behind the barricade.
It's just the way the game works. It's just crazy.
It is the way the game works. You hear a scream of anger and irritation, and kind of a clattering noise behind the crates for those that are listening. Next up is yep. Nathanal, anything, if not urgent, I'd be keen to just move things on. Anything urgent from yourself that you're doing?
Yep. She's going to move so she gets a view out to sea. She knows it's not deep. She's been there. She's going to move out to sea so she can see the entranceway and then direct her phantasm in through the entranceway past the caltrops.
Okay. So coming out to approximately where?
Well, so as far as she needs to, so she can see. No, it doesn't. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be that far. So she can see the caltrops.
Well, she can't see them because there are people in the way, but approximately there.
It's roughly where they are. So, and then send the phantasm in down the passage.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. Thank you. Yeah, lovely. That one there is about to do the same to this guy with a bow. 21 on 10. Don't worry, I'm not gonna, for the entire combat, this would take forever to do the entire combat like this. So have no fear, I'm not going to be rolling every single time. But now the chap, your ally gets a very hefty defensive bonus. Yeah, the shot from here goes wide. Basically, crashes in, and the arrow shot goes from out here and misses. Next up. Nope. Okay. Wait. Okay. And 6. Chap here takes a shot at you, Eskel. This guy here shoots at you. You were to one side, I believe, so you were standing here, and he gets a shot at you. Just coming. On Askel. Askel will be a flank attack. Not a great roll. He is reasonably close, however. Your DB is 19, and you have a shield, Askel, as well. Is that right?
Yeah, and his deflection's still there.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So that
takes off 100. Yep, for sure. Yeah, not a chance. So absolutely, Askel, you glance up in the nick of time, and you're obviously looking around here for these people. You glance up in the nick of time, you see this man take a shot with you, not a crossbow this time, with a longbow, fires the longbow from out between the crates, and you deflect it. Oh, hang on. That deflection spell was last round, Askel. Cast it last round. Yep. So what's the description of the spell, please?
Caster can deflect any one missile that passes within 100 feet of them. This causes 100 to be distributed from that missile attack. The missile must pass through caster's field of vision.
Cool.
There's one missile, ranges, and its type is F.
Yep. How long's the duration for?
There's no duration.
Right. So it happens in the round you cast it. You cast it last round. You don't have deflections. However, he rolled a 12, and the arrow goes sailing out into the ocean. You're lucky, Askel. It missed.
Wait.
5. There is a twang from inside the cave, and Yonton ends up with an arrow in his shield. It seems to have gone straight through it was aimed at not that you know this, Neathanol, but it was aimed at the phantasm you saw rush in. Leif, you cast the spell last round. What are you doing?
He's stunned.
He's stunned. Thank you. He is. 18. Cool. Double axe 4. Right. Okay, moving there. Got it. Oh, okay. Okay. As I say, guys, just do bear with. A very big team. Okay. Etienne, you're next. So you're up here. There's been an attempted shot from here and here. The people concerned have, perhaps understandably, fired and absolutely got out of cover. So your description was looking for any arms or legs or anything you could see. There's definitely no immediate target. What are you doing?
So when they kind of leant over the side there to shoot presumably down.
Yep.
There was no opportunity to swipe at anyone.
No.
Or they got out of the way.
They have moved back. That's what I'm saying. Yep. So they've shot and moved back, as any sensible person would do.
And when I hit the crates, did they move much?
Didn't realise you hit them with any impact. I didn't realise you even touched the crates.
I was up against them, so I just wondered if they moved when he leant against them.
Didn't notice.
So could he do a sword thrust and back in a round?
So these crates are something to the effect of at least about 8 or 9, probably 10 to 12 foot high. I was going to say no. These people are not standing on the ground behind.
Right. Yeah, okay.
They'd be very, very tall people if they were standing on the ground behind.
Right. Can he attempt to shove the crate? Well, he's really wet. Oh, no, I mean, or he'll try and shove the crates.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a...
Yeah, as hard as he can.
Yep, sure. Give me a... Yeah. This is probably the best one to go. Give me a sheer folly strength roll.
34.
34 plus... Just pure strength. Pure strength.
26.
26. No. Doesn't budget. Just doesn't even move.
From that estimation, then bloody heavy.
It doesn't move. It's probably his rounds if he's shoving. Oh, maybe not. What would a shove be? I could give you, 50% on that. He's got 50% left. What does he do?
Well, I mean, opportunity move, keep his shield up. He's seen them lean out, so he'd put his shield right up in that same area. Mm-hmm. And an opportunity move if people move in front of him.
Okay. Fun. Cool. Next up is... Oh, yep. Yep, you definitely hear the sound of running feet, commotion. There's definitely people, number of people moving in behind. Kind of see with me hovering around here, and catching up with the figures in behind. There's definitely people moving in behind there. Quite a lot of movement. Yonton starts moving forwards and very slowly. I don't know if I want to risk kicking it, moving his counter, but just starts kind of kicking the caltrops out of the way. It's kind of quite painstakingly slow, but he makes it up to this gap. I'm not going to move his counter, but Yonton is now firmly, bravely, stupidly, whatever you want to say, 100% blocking that gap. He is right there. Bravely, otherwise, don't know. But he's moved up and he has cleared enough of a path, kicking out of the way that people could probably safely move up behind him directly in where he's moved. I will ask for an agility check just in case, but not a particularly severe one. So he's cleared it in his turn and he's moved up to just make out that little gap, the entryway in, and he's there. This chap here gives a war cry and drops his shield. This guy here drops his shield and leaps with sheaths his sword and is crouching down. Would he have enough time to? No, he wouldn't. Drops his shield and sheaths his sword. That's his action, and he's looking directly up above him at this gap. That's probably all he can do this round. Askell. An arrow with your doom on it just went whistling past your face. What are you doing, please?
I think he would cast another deflection spell.
Okay.
Yep, it's an instant.
Okay. So hang on. I'll give you a bit of a hand. What you can do is you can act out your rounds and save your 10%, so you have a 90% action this round. And you can then, if someone fires at you and you would like to cast deflections and you know where they are, so in other words, if someone shoots them from behind or directly above, I'm not going to count it, but he's certainly looking around here. If that happens, then he can cast the deflection spell. That's kind of the way it's meant to work, and I'm very happy for you to play it that way, if that's helpful, rather than you using the spell and wasting your spell points.
What I'd be wasting it, so I've still got the round for them to attack, right?
Yep.
The hit. So it would still be useful.
Well, you don't know what the rest of them are doing, so you don't know. Basically, what I'm saying is rather than cast the instantaneous spell, you hold off 10%, and you either use that or you don't. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think I'll err on the side of caution and cast it anyway.
Okay, but it's if someone is firing at you, so you are casting it effectively right now unnecessarily. But if you want to do that, go for it. Because you're casting it against. Could you read out the description again, please? I'm pretty sure it's based on a particular attack. Cast can deflect any one missile that passes within 100 feet of them. This causes 100 to be subtracted from the missile's attack. Missile must pass through the caster's field of vision. Right.
But I guess you just have to see it coming.
Yes. I mean, you could cast it in preparation for deflecting it against someone else, arguably, but yeah, up to you. If you want to cast it and this round have it deflect an arrow, go for it. If it's cast at you, sure. If you want to, or you can save your 10%. Your call.
No, I'll just cast it anyway.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. And that was a fail. That was a 1.
It was a 1. Can you please roll a spell failure?
As a 9.
9, you're fine. Momentary lapse of concentration delays casting of spell for 1 round. So you still cast it, but you cast next round. I'm going to... It's 10% action. I'd still give you a little bit more activity this round if you want to do something else. Say 50% activity. Doesn't say you're stunned or anything.
No, I'll just hold there.
Okay, sure thing. Lovely. Great. Gray, you're back here. You've cast a spell. You've heard Leif curse beside you. You've seen Neathanol walk into the ocean. What are you doing, please? Hello, Stara? Hello?
Sorry, I missed that.
You've seen...
Gray's turn, is it?
Yeah, it's Gray's turn.
Okay, so I'm still concentrating and doing the phantasm.
Okay, cool.
What shall I make it do? Run around the boxes, jumping up and down, poking head over the top.
Okay. So you had it run basically across the mouth of the cave. What do you do with it now?
So, can you go closer into those boxes?
Now remember, you can't. Where Gray is, he can't.
Yeah.
He is here.
Yeah.
So he can see the map.
Oh.
Yep.
Right.
He can see
okay.
that.
It'll just run back and forth.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Cool. Done. Two. All right. Holding. 6. Let me check. No. Okay. No. That's there and there and... Oh, yep, him. This chap here, basically is watching Yonton very bravely at the entrance, and like the rest of you, is huddling up against the side of the crates, kind of poised, ready for action. Severin. Hello, Severin.
Sorry, talking to myself. If wontons move forward, then obviously that's what Severin was waiting for, as was Etienne. So he'll move forward too. There's a path open now to him, right, in front of him?
As mentioned, yep, there is. Yep. I would still like an agility check by Severin, based on his armor. It's not going to be a particularly difficult one, but basically there are still a couple of stray caltrops around. In the heat of the moment, I just want to make sure that Severin doesn't tread on them. It's an easy maneuver for Severin. Give me a roll, please.
And just to finish that off, he's obviously aware of what's going on through the holes. So I think as he moves forward, he'll obviously duck under that.
Sure. Yep.
Get a gap. And then actually look, if he can, I don't know how much of his turn will be left, but if someone else tried to... When they are firing these arrows through, are there any extendable limbs? Are we seeing a hand?
No, they're not. As I say, they're like any sensible person would do. They take the shot and they remove themselves, firing a weapon. Yep. So no, there's not. To answer your question.
So my question is, I appreciate they withdraw, right? But my question is, if I had an opportunity attack on an entrance and a hand came out.
Yep.
Would I get a swipe at it?
Sure. If a hand comes out, sure thing.
And have I seen a hand come out?
No.
Okay, in that case, he'll move forward, stick really close to the crates, and take that light maneuver.
Okay, cool. Give me a roll, please. It was actually an easy.
99?
99. Nice. Roll again.
70.
Goodness me. Plus 70. Moving in armor is a negative. What's his negative, please?
12.
Yeah. Fair to say, at 157, That was incredibly successful. I'm just trying to think of a bonus I could give you this round. That would normally be his round. He's got 30% left to do something in if he wants to do anything.
Well, he can't really move anywhere else. I think he would stay pinned against the crates, duck down, and if there were any more caltrops, he'd clear them out of the way.
Okay, great. So with your remaining 30%, I mentioned that he had to make a maneuver to kick a few to avoid the 2 or 3 stray ones behind him. He uses that 30% to very effectively kind of clear a path. So if you imagine looking directly at the camera, Yonton is standing right in that gap, very bravely or stupidly, with a big shield up, I should point out. And Severin has now completely cleared, with that additional 30%, any risk directly behind Yonton. There are still spikes either side, but you can now walk safely from there up to the gap, thanks to Severin's actions. That's the end of his turn.
3 words?
3 words, go.
Just saying, Askell forward. He's a bit worried that Askell's a bit exposed.
Cool, done. I wonder if I can... Oh, I'm so nervous about the... No, damn it.
Yeah.
And... Can you see how slowly the GM is moving this counter up? Because he's afraid that will happen. Never mind. Okay. Cool. Alright.
And just to say, Severin is ducked down.
Yeah, no, fully got that. Cool. Alright. Okay. Alright. No. Okay. Okay, Mython, anything from yourself further down the way?
Nope, she's just the 3rd carriage in the train.
Cool. Got it. Three. Oh, yep. Okay, cool. Okay. Alright. Tanya, anything for you, or just being part of the train?
Has the train moved yet?
Yeah, we're assuming everybody's moving up accordingly.
Can she go flank and get a shot in anywhere?
No, can't see anybody.
Then, yeah, not much.
Okay. Demos moving up, and that is the end of the round. Long round, guys. Appreciate. Lots going on. Next round. Initiative. Rolling initiative. I might just zoom myself out. Go. No. Okay. This guy here that seemed to cast, or we thought he might have cast some kind of spell before, is just hunkering up against the plates, basically snuggling up in behind you, Severin. Well, actually behind his companion. So this guy here has come up and is directly behind you, Severin.
Etienne had an opportunity move, by the way, didn't he?
Yep, I'm saying it. Sorry, we're into the next round. It's gone, I'm afraid. Sorry, mate. No, he didn't. He tried to shove the boxes. That was his. No, that was his turn. He did.
You said I had another 30%, I think. So Yeah, he was just going to move along, but
Next up. Okay. Neathanol, you were out of the gap. Right now, you cannot see where your phantasm is.
can I back the phantasm up and run it back, please, towards me?
What's the description of the spell? I don't know if you need to continue to see it. I don't know what the... Yeah, if you...
Well, yeah, it's 100 feet, basically.
Do you need to keep your eyes on... what's the description?
Creates a duplicate of the caster. If they concentrate, it will move as they do. Otherwise, it does exactly as they do.
Okay. Doesn't say anything about having to keep it in vision. Yeah.
100 feet.
Yep.
Otherwise, I mean, she sent it in there. Now she's just sending it back again, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like running through people.
Yeah, running back through people, and then sort of she wants to have it turn abruptly and kind of above Severin, I guess, nearest, just kind of throw itself up on that ledge as if it's she's trying to get through the gap with her sword.
Okay, cool. Got it. Okay. Yonton is next. Not having much luck. He does kind of kick a few more of these spikes out of the way and moves into this area here. So he moves past the boxes and he's in here. That body, by the way, has been cleared away. He moves in. 4 and... Yep. 136. Cool. And lovely. Yeah, okay. Cool. And he's promptly attempted to be speared from the side as Yonton very, very bravely moves through, kind of kicking these caltrops out of the way wherever he can. Definitely parrying. That's not good. 24 and a C. See, Yonton screams as a long bladed weapon cuts him across the chest. Kind of staggers a bit. He's on his feet. It doesn't look like a mortal wound, but he's definitely taken a hit. So somebody from here, probably Severin, you're realistically the only person to have seen it. A spear kind of came out from here and hit him, or some kind of bladed weapon. He's on his feet. He's bleeding. Definitely, ouch, that hurt. But you don't, Severin, you've been around battles before. You don't think it's a mortal injury, from what you can tell. Again, there is a shot at you, Eskel. Flank attack. And Eskel, you have your DB, and what else do you have, please? You haven't had an opportunity to cast deflections this round. anything else? Do you have a shield of any kind?
No, I can't remember if I took the one off someone else. So, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Glancing shot. 8 in an A. I'm gonna roll the critical. First critical on people for a while. Exclamation mark. Space. Oh, hang on. Exclamation mark. Space. D100s. Cross your fingers, Askell. Coming at you now. 80. Askell, this arrow strikes you in your shield arm. Thwack. If you have a shield, it's broken. If foe has no shield, the arm is badly broken and useless. Now, there is a penalty that's generally applied in this situation. I don't have it to hand. Basically, where you get a broken bone, I'll need to check it and come back to you. It doesn't actually say it in the crit, but you would have a penalty after that. Your left arm now, Askell, is broken, and you will have a penalty, which will have to be next turn. But you've just got a broken left arm. That hurt. Next up. Okay. No. This person here, yes. Kind of attempts to lean and shoot this guy in the back, basically an angle on him. He will get a significant amount of cover. One on 7. Cover a lot. And that's a miss. Crossbow bolt, small crossbow bolt, kind of scatters harmlessly, bounces basically amongst your feet there, Askell. Seven. Oh. Yeah. Another spear comes out at Yonton. Does get some parry. Yeah, an A. Ooh. This time, Yonton gets hit in the head. There's a scream, and Severin, you see Yonton's ear fall to the ground. He's bleeding pretty heavily, and he's taken a pretty severe injury. His ear's on the ground.
What hit him?
A spear of some kind.
From the same direction?
Yes. Askell, you've now got a broken arm. I need to tell you what negative you're at, don't I? I'm going to say, it said badly broken arm. I'm going to say, are you happy to go with a negative 40 for the moment? And I'll definitely confirm what it should be. I think you should have a penalty. Yep. What does he do?
I guess he'll try and push forward to the right, to the gap.
Okay.
Try and get himself a bit of protection.
So, kind of here up against the crates?
No, off to the right.
Off to the right? Okay, sure. So where do you
There's
go?
an arrow. Yeah, just behind that blue base, whoever that is.
Okay. That's Yonton. Yonton's actually not there. He has stepped through. So that's effectively Severin is there. Where does that go?
And then if that's now actually Severin, then he'd be next to Severin then.
Okay. So basically, I'm not going to move the counter up, but he's basically standing where he is now, but just a little bit further up in front of Severin. Yep, done. Cool. All right. Gray. You've had the Phantasm run around in front of the cave. What do you do?
I could continue to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so as long as I've been concentrating. So I'll try and make it so that people sort of aim for him, so maybe not running back and forth.
Yep.
Maybe looking like he's loading a weapon or something. Okay. Fumbling around trying to load an arrow. So that maybe people shoot towards him. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, sure. Yeah, okay. Sure. Cool. So standing approximately where?
Right in front of that cave.
So here?
In front of that rock.
Here? There?
Yep, okay. That'll do, yep.
Done. Cool. Right. Severin, the guy directly behind you is yelling, move, 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 and is kind of shoving Severin forward.
I'm planning on it.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm planning on moving. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So he's trying to move with you or encouraging you to move.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. All right. Etienne.
Also behind that guy saying move, move, move.
Okay, so you're basically in a line. Everybody here is up against the crates, bar Askell, who is off to Severin's side.
So yeah, and like before, Etienne is keeping low. He will turn with his shield towards the nearest opening.
Yep.
So if anybody tries to shoot him, he won't be shot in the back, and his shield will be up.
Okay.
So crouched, shield up, looking, and just so aware of that's where the attacks are coming from.
Which direction is his shield facing? He can face in one direction. Is it in the direction he's moving?
So if we see the guy with the orange guy with the blue counter, assuming he was up behind him, he would be crouched with his shield up to the opening above him. Do you see what I mean?
I do. Yep. Got
so
it.
if anybody tries to shoot through there, he's not in the back.
Sure. All right. 5 foot. Again, target from here would be this guy here. Number 1. Again, your compatriot has a very good amount of cover. However, that was a 95. So your companion gets like 70% hard cover. However, he's lucky. Glancing shot on this guy. A 4 on the critical, but he does get shot for a pretty hefty 28 hits. His turn, indeed. Yeah, there's just this pile of people that are just waiting to kind of push through with Severin moving first, basically. Mithran, tell me yes, no, going once, going twice, gone?
No, she's waiting to go.
Cool. Leif, you are now unstunned, Leif.
Yeah, he would like to move up to the back of the spearmen, so when they go, he'll go.
Cool. Lovely. So he moves up to Yeah, and they are about to go, as you say.
Cool. Sword and shield out for him. So if they're about to go, he'll opportunity move with them as well.
Yeah, understood. Understood. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Cool. Okay. Thanks for your patience, guys, with a large group. Right. So, yeah, the spearmen, Demos included, are basically poised as soon as Severin and co move forward. They've got their spears up and they're ready to rush in and start thrusting between the well, you're assuming that's what they're going to do, and Leif, you're right on their coattails. Okay, one more round. Yep, ditto. Severin, it is your turn. So just to, before you tell me, just to describe things, Yonton has pushed his way. I can, yes I can, that's great. So Yonton has pushed his way through to about here, basically the very edge of where you can see the spikes on the ground. Behind him is clear. Either side of him there are spikes. What does Severin do? He can, and just, sorry, I shouldn't have asked you and then always take it back. He can move up and be directly behind Yonton, and again, I'd ask for a almost the easiest possible maneuver in the game, to move up and just make sure he doesn't stand on one stray spike. Or if he moves either side, one side, two sides, he can move as quickly as he wishes, but of course he's likely to get stuck, or he'd have to go more slowly and basically spend some time kicking the spikes out of the way. Or he can turn around and run away, or he can do whatever he likes.
Can he pass Jammy?
Yes, he can, but as I say, if he does, he will need to make a difficult, I'll tell you what the difficulty would be, but a difficult agility check not to stand on one of those spikes.
Yeah, got it. How difficult?
How difficult? Sure thing. So it's happening, all this is happening, just to paint the scene, all of this is happening in the blink of an eye. Yes, he's aware, obviously, that there are spikes on the ground, but clearly he's not looking down. He's looking for attacks coming in lots of different directions. So I'm going to say for him to maybe take a glance down and to avoid all the spikes on the ground, I would say it would be an extremely hard roll.
To avoid them?
To avoid them.
Well, that's no good. In which case, can he... so I'm just not clear how much room I've got. Can he move in and... So he can move up and take a swipe at someone?
You don't know who's in there because Yonton's in the way. There are definitely figures beyond there, but you haven't quite worked out what's going on. You don't know.
Yeah, but I've seen some attacks come in from the left. Is that correct?
You've seen a couple of spears come through from the left. Correct.
Okay, so if he sidles up into that gap with his shield up, prepared to attack somebody on the left with his back against that crate, that would be... sorry, you see the crate to the one that's lit up. So if he sidles through the gap, keeps his back to that crate, i.e. the left side of that crate, and then engages what he thinks is going to be somebody through that gap to the left, that would be a good guess.
So move through in the space in the ground that Yonton has cleared.
Yep, but keep and then swivel to his left, so his back's against the crate as he's gone through the gap.
Understood.
And then engage whoever is on the left, but A, keep 10% back for deflections, and B, put a pretty heavy parry on it. I'm going to say 70-30.
Okay. Yes, he can absolutely do that. So just to explain again, but yes, he can do all of that. So it would actually be, it's not 70-30 because he's already got 10% of his parry, but whatever the difference is. So directly in front of him, I'm not going to move the counter, but directly in front of him, basically on the edge of those spikes, is your companion who's just had his ear sliced off that you've seen.
Yep. So actually, I might make that even more. I might just get my gun.
Hang on. If you move through where you're wanting to go, you'll still need to do that easy maneuver, just in case there's a straight spike on the ground. But at that stage, he doesn't need, other than that easy maneuver, he doesn't need to worry about his feet. And he will need to take up some activity, minor, 10% to move. Basically, a small amount of movement. So he sacrificed 10% to move, 10% defections. He's got 80% left to act, and he can, exactly as you say, turn and swivel with his shield facing in this direction over here, and ready to strike someone in this direction. Yes, he can do that.
Can I divide my parry among targets?
That's a really good question, and there is an answer to that. OB, maybe use parry 2 foes max. Add plus 10 to your activity for the second foe. So he would lose 10% activity on dealing with another person. He would also need to know where the people are. At the moment, he doesn't have a clear vision of where the foes are.
No. I'll tell you what then, I'm not going to do any attack, I'm going to do a full parry.
Okay.
And so, but divide it amongst 2. So use that 10% action, and then I don't think I will do deflections actually, because there's no bow shots been fired, so I will then divide the remainder between parrying 2 targets.
Done. Lovely. Okay, so you move up, and I am going to, what am I going to do? I might just change the map a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do that. Okay. All right. All right. Hang on. Just finagling with the map. Here we go. That's pretty good. I think we've nearly got this from Severin's perspective. That's good. Cool. All right. Back into the map. Wow. Very extreme close-up of Yonton. So as you come in, Severin, so you are standing. You've come through that gap. Your companions are in a nice line behind you. I'm not going to move the counter, but your back is against these crates here, and you're facing this way. Got it.
Yep.
As you come in, this person here with a spear tries to stick you. This person here throws an axe at you. You're also aware, and you see directly in front of you, you probably don't see that door. You see that door, you see the beginnings of a corridor here. You see a horrible looking statue there, and you just catch a glimpse of a bowman here. Very happy to say for you, Severin, that Yonton is directly in the path of, directly in the line of sight of this bowman, and he can't get a shot on you. But you do get a stab from your left, of which you can parry some, and you can also use your OB to parry, like missile OB, parry the axe that's thrown at you by this guy.
Yeah.
Make sense? So two attacks, one with a big spiky spear through this, another effectively crenellation there, and then an axe. Are you ready, Severin?
Yeah.
I'm going to roll them at the same time. Are you feeling lucky? Do you want spear to go first or axe to go first?
Spear's fine.
Oh, cool. But just before you do, I would like, however, I would like your easy maneuver to step through without standing on the spike, please. Mirror.
31.
31 minus 12. 19. Yep, you're fine. You're a bit ungraceful, but you move through. What was your decision on spear or axe, please?
Yeah.
Spear? Done.
So she's reaching out and then round. Is that the deal?
It's not exactly the angle. She reaches through. Yep. We're dealing with a bit of imagination here. Now, what's your split on these two, please? Compare.
I think I said half and half.
Half and half. Done. Can you figure out what that amount is, please? Bearing in mind that you have already moved 10%, so you're minus 10%, and then tell me what half is after 10% minus.
Half of what? Sorry, my OB.
Your OB to parry. So your OB minus 10% of your OB, and then divide that in half.
Right, so my broadsword then would be 152.
Yep.
90% of 152 is 136 divided by 2 is 68.4.
Cool. So I minus 68 off each attack. Thank you. Lovely. Yeah. Okay, she is attacking. She does attack. She rolls a 1.
That's encouraging.
Keep
it up.
A few fumbles tonight. Let's see what happens. Okay. You hear swearing in Thebronic through the barricades here. Lucky, Severin. This guy here chucks a hand axe at you. He is number 4. And 4 on Severin. He just rolled a 97, followed by a 71. Severin, I've got your DB as 10. I've got your shield alone as 50. And then what do we say for the parry? 60?
So my defense bonus is plus 50.
Yep.
Yeah, plus 50. And my shield and helm together is 60.
Yep, got it. What's his parry?
68.4.
So, Severin steps through. This person here mutters, curses as her shot doesn't even happen. She doesn't lunge through. Severin was prepared to turn her attack aside. He then turns a split second later, and this guy here hurls a hand axe straight at Severin. Severin attempts to raise his shield in time, but he's not fast enough. 11 in an A crush. I'm going to roll the crush on you in a second, Severin. In fact, I'm going to roll it now.
Just before you do, just one little note, just in case it matters. The shield that he wields is 25% on shield arm. It's 25% negates crits to shield arm.
Noted. Thank you. Exclamation mark R space E100. Coming at you now, Severin. Hope for a low number. 96.
Ah.
Blow to foe's head. If foe has no helm, he is dead. If foe has a helm, he is knocked down and stunned for 1 to 6 rounds, plus 20 hits. Severin,
Okay.
you fall on the ground with caltrops all around you. Can you roll, please? Oh, it's 20 past 10. Gonna make this the last for the night. Just checking. Have people? I didn't even realise the time. I've been enjoying the game that much. Are people needing to go? Do we have time to finish this round? We're nearly at the end.
I do.
Graham is okay to stay.
Yep.
Anthony, Stara, I'm sorry, I just completely lost track of time, guys.
Yeah, it's been good.
Anthony, you still with us?
Yes, sorry.
Cool. Okay, I'm taking that as a yes. Okay, Severin, this is a good reason to have a helm. Smack hits you right in the head. You're knocked down and stunned. 6 rounds. You're on the ground. And you're knocked down and stunned 6 rounds. So you are on the ground for 6 rounds.
Yep.
Now, you fall. Can I ask you to make a roll, please, to see where you fell? 1 to 25, you fell backwards. 25 to 50, you fell that way. 50 to 75, you fell basically into Yonton. Actually, no, you'd fall backward. No, how would you do this?
Well, if it's an axe, wouldn't I go backwards?
Probably, but maybe you bounce off a crate or something. So, and then the remainder, you fall that way. So split 25, 25, 25, 25. Starting with the 25 here. Give me a roll, please, to see which direction you fall.
52.
52. 0 to 25 here. So you fall into Yonton. He goes sprawling forwards. So Yonton falls up. He had a little bit of these spikes to clear. So not a lot. Can you please roll a 1d6, Severin, to see how many times you get stuck as you fall on the ground?
3.
3. You get stuck 3 times. I'm going to give you 3 attacks on you. They are tiny attacks or small attacks. Let's just see if any of them penetrate your armor as you fall. So 3 attacks. So small creatures. It's a horn tusk, small. Plus 50. There you go. First one. Wham! You hit the ground and just completely deflate your armor. Your very good armor defletes that shot. Second one. Glancing, actually, sorry, you wouldn't get your shield. You're lucky you got your shield off the last one. The shield was on the last one. You wouldn't get your shield as you fell. You did happen to on the last one because it just happened that way. 10 and an A puncture, Severin. So that spike found its way through your armor. The critical, I'm not going to roll in the public. You're lucky. Zip, no additional damage on the crit. And then the last one on you. Don't get your shield. Again, the same results. 10 and an A puncture. As you fall down. 57, yeah. So this time, the spike, this horrible spike, found its way through your thigh. You're bleeding at 2 hits per round, and you're stunned for another round. So you're bleeding at 2 hits per round. You take another 2 hits. And can I please ask you, Severin, to make 2 poison checks, poison resistance rolls?
Oh, this gets better, doesn't it?
It does. What level is Severin?
21.
Hold the dice, please. What level is Severin?
8th.
8th, thank you. So 21 for the first one, and what is your
Plus 38.
plus 38? Okay, cool. And then the second one, please.
92.
Okay, cool. Severin, you are on the ground, and that is the end of your turn. Next, Tanya.
What can she do?
Depends where she wanted to wade out into, but not a lot. I mean, there are a lot of people in here.
Yeah,
her chance of hitting a friend is pretty high.
She'll wade out in the water anyway.
Okay. Tell me where you wanted to go.
Straight out. It's quite shallow, so she's going to get straight out. You see essentially make for the other side of the rock with the thing on top of it.
Yep.
Just going to sit there behind that rock and potentially pick a target next round.
Okay, cool. Done. Demos and spear companions move in. Do they? Yes, they do. So Demos, I'm not going to move all the counters just yet, but Demos and all the rest of these spear people move in on their turn and start jabbing over the top with their spears. And then the Demos was the last person to act. That is the end of the round. That, guys, nearly at 10:30 is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Hey, yo.
You all right?
Stunned silence from the...
It was bad luck on Severin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Yonton's lost his ear.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys.